Welcome back to SNHU Esports. As always, it is Monday, and you know what that means. It's Valorant Day, my favorite day of the week. My name's Kaylee or Banjo. I'm going to be a caster for today, and I'm joined by Madav.
Hello, we're here for some Valorant. I'm excited. What do we got for Valorant today?
So today we are actually going to be watching SNHU Yellow, our B roster, and they will be going up against UMass Amherst. Looks like we have our maps up and ready, so why don't we head into that? From what I know, the first map will be Split. This is a Amherst pick with SNHU starting defense. Next, SNHU's pick is Bind. I know you've always liked Bind. With them starting attack. And the decider is Sunset. Once again, SNHU will be starting attack. So
I'm seeing a lot of two-site maps for these
I know, and it's always very surprising because, you know, we're very used to Blue having those three site maps, and now with Yellow it's just completely different, and the switch up makes it so interesting, especially with both teams, you know, being from the same school, having the same coach, but just having the disparity really shows you that players are what make a team.
Yeah, exactly. And we haven't actually seen Split in a very long time.
With no bias, I hate Split.
No bias at all.
No bias at all. I despise Split. Split is... See, I feel like Haven should have been kept in the map rotation over Split.
That we can both agree on. I
I don't understand why Ascent is still in the map rotation.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. Ascent's like it's a very bland... Okay, maybe not bland. It's like even playing field.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like even on both sides.
Exactly. But at the same time, Haven was just so perfect.
Haven was very good.
Haven was so perfect. While we wait for all the players to get into the lobby and, you know, to get ready, why don't you tell me a little bit about your thoughts? You know, like you've said, we haven't seen Split in a really long time. Not only that, but this is, I think, the second or third time we've had Yellow on stream. So what are you kind of expecting going into this?
Well, I mean, there were the Split changes that happened quite a bit ago, but character-wise or agent-wise, I feel like we're gonna see a lot of double smokes, especially for whoever's attacking. I feel like Viper and Omen have just always been a great combo, just to really work with each other.
Yeah, you know, like with the snake bite, it's so good for, especially if you're containing places like ropes, if you're containing sewers, or, you know, Heaven, if you're planting for Heaven, if you're an elbow, having that snake bite is so good. The paranoia, being able to use your shrouded step to get out of tricky situations, or even just like, I guess, turn their attention away.
Yeah.
So I would expect to see a lot of Omen on the map as well. Something that I haven't seen in a long time, however, is Yoru.
Yoru?
See, I feel like when I think of Yoru, I only think of Split.
I think of the opposite. I feel like the only time you see Yoru is on Bind.
Bind?
To fake people out with the clone.
Bind until
and that's like the only way I'd ever use Yoru, is just to like fake people out with a clone.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of get that, but also Yoru's just been out of the rotation for such a long time. I just don't think Yoru is optimal when it comes to the pool of agents that we already have.
And I don't think we've seen a lot of ISO either.
See, okay, I feel like it's very divided with ISO. You know, in certain elos, they'll be like, oh, ISO is really good, especially, you know, you build up his ult, you get that, what is it called again?
I'm not sure the ultimate name, but you're literally just put in like a different dimension.
Yeah, you isolate them, you're able to get them into that dimension, and then if you take that 1v1 and you get out with it, it's an easy pick.
Yeah.
You know, but also part of that, it's a very selfish kind of ult, you know?
Yeah, I mean, he's a duelist, so I mean, everything is a little selfish when you're a duelist.
I mean, I guess you're right, but you know, there's always that flip side. What if you lose that 1v1? You lose your ult, you lose a person.
I mean, but then you stall time for your team to kind of get to where that person was. So depending on how big the map is and how fast your teammates can rotate, I feel like it really depends on like game sense and communication at that point.
I think with Split being such an open map, though, we might be seeing some deadlock. You know, obviously with her barrier mesh, that can contain a lot of areas, and while you can still shoot through it, it still stalls people.
Yeah, so like you can, like you said, literally just right on B garage, you can just hold that area, and then they have to push up through mid.
Yeah,
Heaven,
or like if you have to push through male, if you want to block off Heaven, put a barrier mesh through male.
Yeah.
No one's going to be able to go through Heaven. You're going to just have to check it main.
You can block off sewers
CT.
too.
Exactly.
That's a huge.
So I feel like we might be seeing some deadlock, because
I mean, I don't see why it would. Or I don't see why it would not be a bad pick. Why? I don't see it being a bad pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think. Do you think we might see some Astra? I know we talked about Omen a little bit, but you know, Astra, once again, incredible smoke potential. She has all those stars that she can put down. You know, we've got the nebulas, we've got the gravity well.
I feel like a lot of it comes from comfortability. Because one thing about Astra is that yeah, she has smokes, but you know, her ability to like pull people off bomb is also
Yeah, the
super
gravity
important.
well.
Yeah. And then the concussion, like you said, is just it's just I think it's really just comfortability because
Yeah.
Omen does provide a blind that Astra doesn't. So it really depends on the comp. And
I think
he's
if
gonna
there
be
already
pushing it.
is another set of blinds on the team, you know, definitely in every single team comp, you are going to need at least
Yeah.
one set of blinds, or else it's really hard to get onto site.
Yeah.
So I feel like Breach is a really popular choice as well for a map such as Split because it's all corners.
Right.
You know, it's all corners and elbows and small little dinky places that you have to go through.
KO as well, though his pop flashes can
That's
be used
true.
super
You know,
well.
just toss it against the wall. But that's another reason why I thought Yoru, because you throw a Yoru flash off the wall.
Right,
It's
yeah.
so easy. You know, you have his little fakes like you were talking about. That's another blind for you.
Yeah, that's true. Just kind of getting that you. Even if they run Cypher, this is a big. I would say this is a big
love
Killjoy
Cypher on
and
Split.
Cypher map, especially on B. Sending in your clone there can just trigger everything, and then the defending team can think, oh, you know, they're pushing onto B, and then your team can push onto A. So
Yeah.
it's a lot of cool things you can do with Yoru. But circling back to the snake bite that you mentioned with Viper, I feel like again a lot of players don't do this because it's not the best thing to rely on. But lineups with snake bite and poison, it can work so efficiently. But it's just not the best thing you really want to do because you're kind of
Yeah.
out alone. You don't really know if it's a fake or if it's a stick.
If you're trying to buy
It's-
time and everything.
Yeah.
And, you know, obviously with her snake bites not refilling after a while, it's your one chance.
Yeah.
You know, you don't really get to say, okay, I'll wait for another 30 seconds, you know, wait
Yeah.
down the clock and I'll go again. You can't really do that.
Yeah, it's like you get it or you don't.
Yep.
So, but yeah, I'm pretty excited for this lineup. I feel like for duelists here, we're gonna be seeing a lot of Jet.
Yeah,
The
I mean,
updrafts, the
obviously.
dashes. Just pushing onto
The
A
Blade
or B.
Storm in terms of eco, that's
Yeah.
such a great ult to have. What about Chamber?
Chamber, I feel like Chamber would only be good defender sided. Attack sided, it's kind of difficult to say where he would push up because again, using his signature ability, his E ability to kind of teleport back, I feel like that's the only way you'd be able to push up. And again, I feel like that's more defender sided than anything.
No, that makes sense. Well, now that we've talked a little bit about the map, I think we're ready to go straight into it. So why don't we see what these players have in store for us and how right we were. And we've got the Deadlock, we've got the Asher, we've got the Viper. Honestly, I should have made some bets on that.
You got the breach as well.
I know,
we
I'm
got the whole
so good.
lineup there.
All right, so I forgot to warn you. So in UMass Amherst, we were going through some of the names, and it looks like Ray's over here is going to give us a really hard time tonight.
BX.
Okay, so why don't you take us through what SNHU has since they're all locked in, and I'll take us through Amherst after.
Well, as we talked beforehand, we do see Suka on the Astro, Hui on Deadlock, Potato on Viper, Marcus Pork on Breach, and Blitz on Raze.
On Amherst, on the other side, looks like Bakita might be on stage. BXW, ZIV, BB20, no, DYXWOM. Looks like they will be running the raids for today. Lua is going to be on the Cypher. Toxify may be running the Astra, and Y Candy on the Breach. So I'm excited. You know, I love the double Astra. I love the double Breach, the double Raze as well. The mix-up, you know, with the Sage and Cypher on UMass Amherst and the Deadlock Viper on SNHU, I think could make very interesting.
Yeah, the double smokes are always going to be big here, but don't forget, just because Sage also only has a wall, you can use that as a smoke as well. You just can't really place it in advance. It can be used to block off areas and line of vision as well. So it looks like UMass is going to be running that double Sentinel character here. So they might be pretty strong on the defending side here, but it doesn't matter because SNHU is going to be defending first, I believe.
Yep. So we will have SNHU starting defense.
Yeah, like you said, starting defense here. It's gonna be. Just because there's only Deadlock there. I wonder if she'll use her ability to kind of use it earlier or not. Just because how Deadlock is played, the Sentinel. You know, again, her E ability being able to block off certain areas. It is destroyable in the end, but again, it's Deadlock. Again, her sound sensor as well, being able to place that in areas where characters may run away, like on B or on A, near that A main area. It's just so important to how it can be utilized, and it's almost like having Cypher and Sage in one agent.
Talking about the Cypher, obviously, you know, his Cypher cages are going to be extremely pivotal, as well as his tripwires, because they give away so much information. And, you know, when you're running through a site, especially when you have to rotate, you're not looking for those trips. And when you run into them, that could really just be the difference between life and death. Looks like we're having a little bit of an altercation down mid already. We are going to see Hui throw out that barrier mesh, but it is going to get shot down immediately. And BX is going to try and push through vents just slightly. This is really dangerous already. They're playing up so close. If anyone drops down into ropes, it's going to be an immediate fight. Blitz, he's poised for this fight right here. Wonder if we are going to see the showdown between the two Razes.
Yeah, left on 49 HP here. BX
he goes. Blitz gets one. Blitz gets two. Marcus Pork also getting one with BXW. Blitz on Toxify. It's down to a 5v3. But Blitz is left on extremely low HP. Suka, however, getting that next pick onto Lua. It's down to a 5v2. UMass Amherst is left on extremely low numbers, and they don't have this spike with them. The spike is down on vents, and they know that they will be looking straight into SNHU if they try to go down there. So it looks like they might be trying to pick a fight here together. You know, maybe if they could swing off each other using a little bit of utility. They see the spike down there.
Ooh. Looks like a Sage wall is going to be put there.
Oh, that's going to be great.
Now
that really just lets them get away with it, but that does give their position away as well. Hui, however, going to get one onto Bakita. We've got 13 seconds left, and Hui just finishes that off, getting that last pick onto Y Candy for a flawless first pistol round.
Yeah, SNHU, again, like you said, breaking that curse that you previously mentioned the last couple of weeks.
I feel like the pistol curse is only applicable to blue, because we haven't seen yellow play enough to say if they have a curse yet or not.
That's very true.
So we can say today's a deciding factor on whether or not they have that curse.
True, and with this win, they are going to be able to buy up pretty strong there. But yeah, last round, having the spike kind of stuck in that area, all SNHU just needed to do is just surround the entry and exits, and they were able to get that win there. And also running in with this Guardian and Bulldog area, SNHU can just kind of sit back, relax, wait for UMA to try and push up, and just hold their sightlines.
Exactly like you said. I think they're, you know, a little bit wounded from how the last round went with them trying to push up so quickly. Oh, but BX gonna go straight in using his blast packs. Hui gonna get that first pick onto Bakita. Y Candy getting that trade onto Blitz. Hui getting a second onto Y Candy as BX tries to get Potato down. It's down to a 3v3. The Gravnet comes out and Toxify is caught in it. Left on 19 HP. Hui is on a heater as he gets his third onto Lua. Marcus Pork finally finding BX. It's down to a 1v3. It's all up to poor Toxify, and he goes down to Marcus Pork for a second round, heading over to SNHU.
Yeah, unfortunately for Toxify there, if he did pick up a Guardian or a Spectre, unfortunately it was just the Judge there, and he could not use it long range. So unfortunate loss for him there. And now going into this round, SNHU is going to be able to, you know, keep the guns that they had previously here. Obviously the Bulldog, the best gun in the game, obviously, and this Guardian are going to be super strong, especially for wall banging, these long range fights. And if you look at UMA right now, they're stacked, running with all of these Vandals, these Phantoms. Right now, they want to just win this round without any casualties. That's always the you know, the golden rule of their goal.
Especially with them, you know, buying up so much. If they lose this round with their credits being an average of 200 plus, they're not going to be able to buy the next round, and that's going to be extremely unfavorable for them as SNHU tries to go into their third bonus round, if I'm not mistaken. But as we can see, they are definitely, you know, trying to recalibrate, recalculate, what are we going to do now? And they might be gearing up towards a little bit more of a mid push. We see 3 towards mid. We're going to throw his barrier mesh out as Lua gets that first pick onto Blitz. Suka getting that trade back onto Lua. Also going to be able to upgrade his gun there. So really, really good trades coming out of both teams already.
Absolutely. Here we see BX trying to, you know, try and clear some space out with his Raise Nade here as he starts to push up, but Hui is going to be holding this area tight with his Bulldog here.
Oh, looks like that sonic sensor goes down, and they are going to get a little bit of information from that. Hui going to retreat down onto the stairs. Oh, that aftershock's going to be bad for him. Going to give him a little bit of a concussion and force him to stay away as UMA uses that to get their entry onto site. Marcus Sport going to take a little bit of an altercation with Y Candy. So this Hui, and the wall goes up. So does Flashpoint. That's going to stop them right outside of CT as they try to break that wall. Ooh, Toxify getting one onto Potato. Hui, Suka each getting their own onto Toxify. BW getting one onto Hui. Marcus Sport finding Y Candy for that trade. BX on the same. He's going to get a second onto Marcus Sport. Oh, Suka finding a third, but it's not enough as the nades from BX come out and get Suka for that trade. That was an intense last few trades coming out of both teams.
Yeah, again, just having that 1v1 there, Suka was able to win it in the end, but that nade kind of dropping a martyr there from BX and just getting...
That's just so unfortunate.
It really, yeah, because their economy would have just been booming if they got that win for SNHU. But now UMA, they're gonna be in a pretty okay spot. All of them did die, so even though they got the win, they just can't afford these guns here. So they're gonna be rocking with these hardcore sheriffs, and SNHU gonna be upgrading to the Vandal because I mean they got the money for it. Why not?
But, with them having the money for this round, we have to remember, obviously, that if they lose this round, they will not be in any sort of favorable position to buy next round. So a little bit of a dangerous round for SNHU to play in. They need to make sure that they play carefully and keep as many guns as they have. Looks like Cypher is going to be left to lurk on A, as we have 4 from UMass Amherst trying to go into B. But, with them taking it so slowly, it's just impossible to tell right now if they're going to try and hit back to mid.
Yeah, it's a little bit difficult on where exactly they're gonna go. It looks like they may have 2 lurkers, just waiting for SNHU to get a little bit impatient there as the rest of UMA kind of starts to push up towards this mid area. Luckily for Huey there, he is gonna be watching this area, having his sonic sensor and his E ability is just gonna be able to block off this area completely for them, and it's all about just taking it slow, playing time, playing whatever.
Marcus Porquaver gonna get that first trade onto Lua to try and open that round up, and it's not forcing them to push as of yet. The sonic sensor gonna go down. The annihilation might be coming out as well, and yes, it gets Paquita. Toxify gonna go down to Hui as well. Hui knows Candy is there, but Blitz gonna get him out before he's able to do anything else. As Hui gets that annihilation kill onto Paquita. There are 10 seconds left on the clock. It's all up to BXW, ZIV, BB2, DYXWOM. With 2 seconds left on the clock and the spike left in mail, this round is going to head over to SNHU.
Yeah, the most he can do there is just get a little bit of a good upgrade. Not even survive. Not even survive there. Hui's gonna get that kill onto him. And finally, we're gonna see these guns on both teams start to finally even up here.
Yep.
Seeing the Vandals and the Sheriffs come off. But getting that deadlock ability on the 3rd round is still crazy to me. I feel like Hui has it every single time. Every single Monday that we have a yellow game, he always is able to get that.
The annihilation.
Yeah, just so 100%. Early into the map as well.
I mean, we see right now on the leaderboard, Hui is leading 9-1.
Yeah, that's a pretty favorable a kill count there, and I mean, that's how you get rewarded for it.
Ooh, that barrier mesh not quite going where he wants it to go. The showstopper coming out as well, but he's just narrowly avoiding it. He's going to be left on 77 HP. We are also going to see that Gravna come out. Lua once again left to lurk at A. This is going into dangerous territories now because SNHU is going to start to adapt to the way UMass Amherst is kind of, trying to go around. But Y Candy gets a really nice shot onto Blitz with that Guardian.
Yeah, just being able to get that pick is already an up for UMass Amherst here. Getting that upgrade on 1 defender down is only going to make it easier for them to push up.
Marcus Port gets that aftershock down onto Vets. Lua is left with just a little bit lower HP, but this is still a 5v4, so it is definitely more favorable for UMA than it is for SNHU right now.
Yeah, we see Suka as well. Super pushed up into their spawn, just barely crossing paths with their Cypher, their Lua. And if they do, it could just be the turning point for this round.
And it does look like we're going to start getting those altercations out. Marcus Court going to be able to get one onto BXW as Toxify and BXW find them of their own. BX has been able to get really crazy value out of his paint shells as Hui finds one onto Lua, but unfortunately falls to Toxify. It's now a 1v3. It's all up to Potato. Looks like we're going to get that spike down with just 13 seconds on the clock. Whoa. Potato going to try looking to elbow. Oh, he's going to look straight into Y Candy and Toxify. That snake bite's going to go out as we talked about just a little bit. And unfortunately falls to Paquita, who was still just waiting for him. that was an unfortunate situation to be caught in.
Yeah, really just stuck in that little area there, and having Bakita just come up behind you there and getting that headshot onto you, it's gonna be really hard to try and push that. It's just 3 defenders on you. They know where you are. It's gonna be difficult there. So now going into this next round here, UMA has 2 ultimates, and they're both for, or sorry, one of them is for information, and the other is for taking a lot of space here. We saw a lot of ultimates come out with Raze's Showstopper and again Hui's ultimate there. But for SNHU, most of their team members are going to be pretty close here, and UMA should probably use their ultimates here just to even up the scoreboard, and so they can use it later on into this match.
Exactly like you said. And I think we're starting to figure out, a little bit of a pattern over here as we watch this game play out just a little bit more. We've got the Sage always left on B. Once again, Lua always on A, as well as we have the other 3 Musketeers push through mid, try to get through Mail, with BX always leaving the charge. The Gravenet going to come out and just hold BX in Mail just for a little bit as he tries to push back up into Heaven. Bakita going to be looking into 2 members of SNHU and falls to Potato as that first pick of the round. Toxify going to left slightly concussed as he looks towards Vent, but he does have Candy to hold us back as well, and Candy going to get a better shot onto Marcus Pork. Ooh, Suka lying in wait, gonna get one onto BX, but it's not enough as Toxify is able to get that trade onto Suka. It's down to a 3v3. Toxify is left really low on 30 HP as they look towards a rotate all the way over to A. Blitz, however, is still on site. He is waiting for them to come, but he falls to Y Candy. That's his 2nd pick of the game, and he is also gonna get that spike down. This is great for him. It puts him in this position where he's got his ult already.
Yeah.
And with the Rolling Thunder, that's, I think, what, 9 ult points? It's one of the higher ult points, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe you're right. Having 9, having that just a strong ultimate there, being able to concuss everyone in a certain area is so huge, especially if you're attacking or defending. Wherever you are, that ultimate just works out so well here. And Hui could get shot out pretty soon here.
Ooh, that flashpoint comes out from Y Candy really nicely to get that pick onto Hui, as Lua gets that final pick onto Potato to bring it to a 3-3.
Yeah, it looks like they didn't even need to use their ultimates there just to get things back up to even here. And SNHU, they've got to save. I believe they've lost 2 rounds in a row there, and that momentum they built up from just those 3 rounds is just easily gone so fast here. And it looks like they're just going to be able to just have a hero gun, maybe just some shield, just anything to really give them maybe a pick or 2. But again, UMA having 3 ultimates can be pretty scary if they want to use it on a round like this.
It looks like they're switching up their style just a little bit. Instead of seeing the 3 from mid that we're so used to seeing, and I'm sure Blitz and Suka were expecting that as well, we're actually seeing almost a 3-man, if not a 5-man charge heading all the way towards A, where poor Hui is left by his lonesome.
Yeah, unfortunately for UMA, Blitz is able to get that pick because all 3 members of SNHU just started to push up towards that area there.
Suka also finding one onto Toxify as Toxify gets that trade onto Blitz. That is 2 guns lost from UMA. Suka is going to be able to pick up a nicer gun as well. Y Candy going to get that trade onto Hui, and with that, BX is going to plant it down. Looks like they're going to try and farm some of his ult points, try to get that Showstopper back up again. Marcus Pork looking for a few picks over at the A side as we get that spike down, but we can't forget that the neural theft has been used. That is so much information, and having sheriffs in this round, you need to make sure that you have that closer range fight. Oh, Potato getting 2 onto both BX and Y Candy. Is he going to find a 3rd onto Lua? He's left on 2 HP. This is incredibly dangerous in this 1v3 situation. He's going to go up to Potato, and he does get him. Oh my god! Lua with a 3K through Suka and Marcus Pork as they line up perfectly for his Vandal.
Wow, in that interaction right there, it literally looked like he was going to lose there. And we do see a timeout coming in as well pretty early into the match here, and then it's not even like they're losing. It's like they just got that first win after evening it up, and that's their 3rd win in a row there, and they called the timeout.
Exactly like you said, it's just sometimes, you know, we're very used to seeing timeouts being used when you keep losing in succession. But another reason why timeouts can be used is to be like, okay, why are we trading so many rounds back and forth? How do we build up that momentum rather than let's break this momentum now? So what do you think they're going to change? We've already seen that big change from them, you know, 3 going down mid to having them actually choose a site and push that.
I think this what sorry I said I think 3 times. What they're gonna do or what they need to change up is just having a tripwire to watch for flanks, because Bakita was there last round and there was 3 members of SNHU all pushing up in that area. They were able to get a pick before dying off there, but again it's just like it's hard to really say what to do, because they again were able to win 3 in a row, but they had to use 2 ultimates in order to get that win. So I think this might just be a simple like use your utilities more and just kind of get more information and then peek out if anything. But I think that's just the only thing they need to change there.
Looks like they might be reverting back to their tried and true 3 on mid push. You know, leaving Lua to push up on A, Bakita on B. This is very normal to what we have already seen for the past few rounds. They're still doing very, very slowly, you know, but it does look like instead of going through male, they might actually be looking through mid. Sorry, through vents, as we have the Nebula come out just to provide a little bit of cover. We also see both boombots go out to try and get a little bit of information.
Ooh.
Oh, Lua goes down as the first piece of collateral as Suka looks straight onto him with Marcus Pork there. Just, you know, as a little bit of backup. You know, if you fall, at least you have someone to get your trade for you. It's down to a 5v4 already. Does look like that stopped their push just slightly, but they might be looking once again towards male as Blitz and Hui hold their position.
Yeah, just kind of not even peeking out here. They're just waiting for the defenders to come, or the attackers to come to them. Blitz, again, just holding this area, like you said, and his teammates just waiting for this trade here, giving them the space that they need and giving them that false hope as well.
Blitz might be in a perfect position to get this 4-man showstopper. No, unfortunately only gets 1 onto Y Candy, but he does stop their push as he gets another onto Toxify. Bakita goes down to Blitz's paint shells, and it's all up to BXW, ZIV, and he finally falls to Blitz, who gets a 4K that round. That was a beautiful round to come out of Blitz, and a well-deserved round heading over to SNHU.
Yeah, smart move to use that showstopper there. Not only does it scare the opponents, but it just does so much damage in such a small area that even if you're just around it, you're going to take at least 30 to 40 damage with that showstopper here. So again, time things up back to 4-4. SNHU now breaking that streak there is going to be able to push on pretty strong. Hui and Suka both having their ultimates can be used for just holding off choke points here. And Potato also being 1 away from his ultimate can literally just lock down any site he wants.
We're going for a really, really fast push. Well, faster than we've seen in the last few rounds, but it doesn't look like they're quite pushing as of yet. Looks like they were there to get the ult orb, and they were able to get it. That's up to 3 ults now on the SNHU side. And we did see, we didn't really talk about it, but there's only 1 Vandal on the other team as well. So I was actually expecting them to try and push up and play a little bit faster because, you know, with Sheriffs, they are not long-range guns.
Yeah, true. But again, having like that Vandal, that Hero Vandal, just being able to get some early picks and then the Sheriffs to do a little bit of a pick damage, and then, again, just being able to finish it off with your team, just staying close together, I feel like does as much damage a Vandal does, if that makes sense. Like you may want to stay.
But Lua is so
groups.
far away from the rest of his team.
That's very true.
You know, it's
here.
Lua and Y Candy, but if Lua were to die right now, it would be extremely hard for Y Candy to go up and get his gun. It does look like we might be seeing that Rolling Thunder come out of Y Candy, though, so they do look to have committed to the ace site. I wonder if SNHU is going to catch up to that anytime soon.
Absolutely, just holding this Thunder there, waiting for the smokes to come out as the rest of the team starts to push this area. Hui is in a favorable position.
Oh, Hui doesn't get any as of yet, but Marcus Fort can be able to find one onto BX. Lua finds Potato, Y Candy onto Hui, and Toxify finds Marcus Fort. Lua finding a second onto Blitz and a third onto Suka. What an incredibly fast 5th round coming out of them as we just see that 1 push come out after the Rolling Thunder.
Yeah, huge eco round coming out of UMA as well. We saw them mostly have Sheriffs and Vandals there, and even though Lua wasn't there with his team, he was still able to get 2 or 3 picks there, and that is already like 2/5 of the team gone. And then at that point, UMA was able to just push up with confidence and be able to get those headshots and then wipe out SNHU there. And we finally see Bakita have their ultimate as well. That's going to be great in situations where they just need to hold defensive lines or they just don't have enough attackers. Getting that res off can be game-changing for any of these rounds.
We are going to see that really early Viper's Pit as well come out from mid. Oh, gonna get caught out by the seismic blast and the aftershock as well. BX gonna be forced into a little corner as he tries to get up on Heaven with Lua. It's a 4-man team trying to get all the way up onto Heaven and hopefully from there make their way onto A side as the Nebula goes down. Ooh. Camera gonna go down immediately as the Cyber Cage tries to come out. It goes straight into Suka. Y Candy, however, gonna be able to find onto Blitz as well. Marcus Pork finding that trade onto Y Candy. The trades are coming out back to back. They are full force right now. Marcus Pork left on 30 HP, still going out hunting. It is a 4v3 at this moment.
Absolutely, and again, it's just in this situation here, Toxify and Toxify and Hui here just barely being so close to each other onto this map. The remaining members are just kind of be pushed towards this A side area. We do see that res come off as well from Bakita onto the breach, making things even with a 4v4 here. And as this time is ticking, they need to get this bomb down fast.
Looks like the 4-man charge is coming out now. Oh, getting caught in that seismic blast is going to be pretty tricky, and Suka going to use that, capitalize on it as he finds Toxify. Y Candy getting that trade onto Suka. Oh, Hui falls to Y Candy as he gets his third. He's got 4 seconds left on the clock. He's going to try to get that plant down. Does he have enough time? Barely makes it with like 0.12 seconds left, but he's able to get that plant down. It's all up to Marcus Park and Potato right now. Bakita is left in a really good position. If he's staying just right there, if he camps out there, he is going to get 2 extremely quick picks. He knows that Potato's there, and Potato doesn't look. He falls to Bakita. It's down to a 1v3. Marcus Pork once again left on 30 HP. He uses his last piece of utility. Oh, he does have his aftershock. Finally finds Bakita. And falls to BXW. What an unfortunate charge. It was so close, but just wasn't quite enough in the end.
Yeah, again, just having that 1v3 time where all the defenders are kind of, they could play together there, but again, when they're all separated out, it's gonna be super hard to try and figure out where they all are.
Yep.
So it's just an unfavorable position for SNHU there.
So obviously, you know, we do see now the second time up getting called by SNHU's coach. So we can tell now this is, okay, we keep losing. What are we doing wrong? We went from, what was it, 2-0 lead to 3-3, and now we're at 3-6 in favor of UMass Amherst.
It just seems like there's a lot of back and forth happening. I feel like SNHU needs to play different every couple of rounds because it's like they play same and then they don't. But for whatever reason, it just feels like UMA is just able to adapt every single time to what SNHU
I would say the problem is now UMA is starting to work more together as a team, while SNHU, they tend to swing out one by one, and then they just get picked off.
Yeah, that can be huge.
You know, obviously we've seen Hui play, like, Hui is able to play a lot on Heaven by himself, and you know, as Deadlock, you have so much capability to play by yourself. But getting picked off easily, or getting picked off first, that is a tremendous loss to your team.
Yeah, it's just getting that, you know, not having that sentinel to block off areas and give you that information. It can be huge, like you mentioned before there. And now UMA is going to be able to buy up super strong here, having all Vandals and 3 ultimates to work around with, while SNHU is just got to play, they got to play a little bit short here, just playing the Sheriff's Light By, and again, kind of playing super close up as 4 of them are all stacked up together here in Heaven.
Ooh, does look like we're lined up, and Blitz going to be able to get that first pick onto BX as Y Candy finds that trade onto Potato. Who are you going to find Y Candy for that trade to bring that down to a 4v3? It already looks like they're playing a lot more cohesively than they were the last few rounds, and we see that by the quick trades coming out almost at the beginning of the game.
Absolutely, and again, getting those quick trades like you mentioned can be huge here because UMA, they have 3 members with Vandals, but SNHU has 4 members with Sheriffs. And again, like if they're playing close up like they are right now with Hui, Marcus Pork, and Suka all pushing in extremely deep into their spawn here, it can just be so beneficial for them because they have 3 people to trade out with, and then they just have Blitz at the top just getting some information. And for all they know right now, the defenders either have to be in ropes or they have to be pushing through tunnel.
Let's talk about Lua taking the long haul
30
home.
seconds left.
Oh, Toxify gonna get the first pick onto Marcus Pork. Not too sure if he saw the other members of SNHU lining up there too, but he's not gonna check mail. Blitz block to Toxify. I did not expect that. Hui gonna get that pick onto Bakita. They've got 13 seconds left on the clock. Toxify does have the spike. He's gonna be playing for CT, which honestly leaves them in a really favorable position.
Absolutely, especially when they know that the defenders are going to be towards the spawn side here. Having this choke point onto CT can be big because all they need to do is just hide, swing out if they tap bomb, and they can use that to their advantage here. But it looks like
the
SNHU...
Astral Divide coming out as well.
Yeah.
I don't think they know where the spike is planted.
Yeah, I think they planted it as if it was planted for default here, but now that it's planted for CT, this wall doesn't make a huge difference here. If anything, it gives more to advantage for UMA.
Ooh. The gravity well coming out. Toxify gonna swing out and get that pick onto Suka. Hui gonna find Toxify, but it's not enough as Lua from behind gonna be able to get that trade for the 7th round heading over to SNHU. We're now on the last round in the half. We're gonna be heading over to the swap soon. Do you think SNHU is going to pick up this last round before heading into that swap?
Well, I mean, Lua has been playing super carefully and around. If SNHU is just able to get whoever their lurker is, I feel like they'll be able... They'll not only will they be an advantage numbers wise, but they'll be an advantage just like they don't have the information that they would normally have from UMA here. And again, like you said, last round, everyone's gonna be buying up. Everyone's gonna be having all these ultimates here. Blitz just got his with that ult point, and the showstopper, especially with all of them grouped up in towards B, can be huge if he wants to pop that there.
Oh, Potato taking a lot of damage, going straight down to 45 HP. That is very dangerous, especially being one of the only ones left on site. But we are seeing a very fast rotate come over from all the other remaining members of SNHU. Lua once again left on the lurk. Why can't he gonna get that first pick onto Blitz? Potato, Marcus Pork following that up with 3 picks of their own to bring that down to a 4v2. The spike is not planted yet. Toxify is forced out of sight, but we cannot forget that Hui is left on very low HP. So is Viper. This is it's still an easily losable situation. As Marcus Pork falls to Lua, that's an unfortunate loss for SNHU, especially since Marcus Pork was one of the only left on full HP. Definitely losing him to bring that down to a 3v2. It evens their playing field for Toxify and Lua quite a bit.
Absolutely, and we are going to see UMA start to do a little bit of a rotate over onto A here. Looks like SNHU is just not aware of that. Again, because getting those picks in heaven can give them the opportunity to kind of push up towards CT or drop down ropes if they want to. So UMA has free control of this site right now. All they need to do is get this bomb down and just hold angles.
About 13 seconds left on the clock. It looks like, their trend is to try and draw some picks when they can and then play very quickly coming towards the end.
Ooh.
Once again, we are going to see that Cosmic Divide come out. Hui gets in as Lua finds that pick onto Potato. Suka right there for the trade. Hui is still on site. Toxify going to find the next onto Suka, and Toxify finishing it off, finding Hui. What a nice clutch to come out for the last round in the half. I was not expecting that.
Yeah, I mean, that Astro Wall really came in clutch there. Being able to isolate those fights and be able to just fight members one by one there, you don't have anyone to trade with. So it's as long as you win the gunfight, you don't have to really worry about anything else there. But now it is 4-8. SNHU is going to be on the attack, and UMA is going to be on the defense here. I feel like UMA is pretty favored on the defensive side, just because they have 2 Sentinels, and you can put trips down, you can have information, cages, not to mention they're also kind of like smokes if you wanted them to be, and the Sage Wall as well. You have to destroy it, similar to Deadlock's the ability, and it's just like, if they use that their abilities well, being able to block off areas, I think it's going to be pretty hard for SNHU to try and push into UMA's defense.
I think the best way to, figure out if that's true or not is to see how this round plays out. As Blitz, following in BWX's footsteps, goes up for a very fast push all the way to mid. But Suka finally going to be able to find White Candy. That was looking very dangerous for Blitz for a second. BXW is going to be able to find that trade onto Potato, however. Market Sport going to try to get that plant down onto his site. Ooh. I didn't know that plant was favorable. I don't think I've ever seen it in my elo before, but this is the second time in one game that we are seeing that.
Yeah, you know, kind of getting the CT push and taking this aggressive area of this control. I mean, now UMA only has a couple areas to push into, and that is from where Marcus Pork is standing and where Suka is standing here in order to get this defuse.
Gravity well going to come out from Suka as Lua going to be able to find that pick onto Marcus Pork up at Heaven. Hui going to get that trade onto Lua. Toxify trying to use the ropes to get back up, but left on 20 HP as Hui finds his second. Suka, oh, the spike goes down.
Yeah, unfortunately for pistol rounds, it is super hard to break the wall with just ghosts, sheriffs, knives, whatever it is. You cannot get it off. You cannot break the wall in time for that defuse there. And luckily for Bakita, they were able to just use it in their favor. And now SNHU is going to be down by 5 rounds here. I mean, UMA is on a 5-round streak into the next half. Not to mention that they are favored again to win this round because of this gun upgrade. So it's pretty scary, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, that defuse was just so unfortunate. Toxify with that Marshall could have looked straight into all of SNHU Yellow and gets that first pick onto Suka. Hui, however, going to be able to find his pick onto Lua to even the playing field just a little bit more. Sound Sensor also going to go out as we see Potato plant in his smoke. That's going to be great. They're able to run the clock down a little bit, you know, get onto site super quickly, which was very different to what we saw from UMass Amherst in the first half of this game. But, you know, obviously with them both being down a number, the playing field is slightly even. The spike is down, so it is slightly more favored towards SNHU at this current moment.
Absolutely, and again, just holding these angles, especially with these close ranged guns, it can be so beneficial for SNHU. And this bomb is ticking down, and it's gonna be really fast. BX has to move quick here.
Oh, 2, 3 beautiful picks coming out of BXW as Y Candy gets that diffuse down Bakita on Marcus Pork. Not too sure why they had that wall come up at the end, but it was still a clutch from Marcus Pork. He eliminates the rest of the team, and they run out of time. What a beautiful round coming out of SNHU Yellow. I do not think UMass Amherst was expecting that twist of turns.
Yeah, it was a lot all at once. Unfortunately for UMass Amherst, they just waited too much time.
Yep.
Stalled not for just a little bit too long there. Satchelating it. It was a cool clip though. BX got a really cool clip, so was it worth it? Absolutely.
100% worth it. 100% worth it. You know, going in that Bulldog control, able to get, what was it, 2 and then 3.
And then Bakita having her back, getting one of his own there.
Yep.
With all Bulldogs, which, may I mention, which is the best gun.
I don't know. I'm impartial to the Spectre. Blitzing straight onto site, using his paint shells as well as his blast pack to get back in. Suka gonna get that plant down already. Once again, extremely fast plant coming out from SNHU Yellow.
Yeah.
We're also going to see a lot of utility down on the site, so they're definitely getting situated, waiting for them to push into them. I wonder if they know that they're all coming up through sewers. Oh! Potato! On that 3K! That was a dangerous sewers push to come out, and they are getting punished from it. Oh, Toxify takes Potato down, but Marcus Pork cleans it up, getting the last 2 picks onto Y Candy and Toxify. I don't know if you guys can hear, but the crowd is going absolutely crazy currently at the SNHU Arena. So, you know, if you guys are by, swing by.
You might as well.
Yeah, you know, join the crowd, come and say hi. We are obviously streaming live from the esports arena here on SNHU's beautiful campus, and the weather's beautiful today.
It feels like spring.
It is gorgeous.
Like,
this is the beginning of spring, you know. What's that groundhog's name? Puxtawani Phil?
I didn't know it had a name.
He has a name, you know, like he said, spring is coming early, and what better way to celebrate the arrival of spring than by coming by the esports arena for SNHU Yellow's game.
Yeah, what a great thing to do. Celebrate the outside by walking to the arena and then staying inside to watch the game. Don't have to worry about those cold walks anymore here. Speaking of cold walks, Blitz isn't going to be hot and heavy into side here. Just kind of taking his time, waiting for picks here because UMA, they're going to be able to have guns that they can work with here. And SNHU now needs to kind of compete with that. They need to play slow and they can't rush in as fast as they used to. And UMA's doing a similar thing. They don't want to waste any materials. They don't want to waste any abilities. They're kind of just taking their time and playing slow.
Ooh, that Nebula coming up is going to give a lot of information to Y Candy. He knows that there are a few members from SNHU trying to cross over. But, you know, with that smoke down, with the nebula down, there's not too much you can do. You don't see anything. Oh! Marcus Pork gets the upper hand onto Toxify as BXW tries to get his showstopper off. And he's able to find one onto Blitz. That's incredible value coming out as he gets away with his life as well. White Candy finally, his redemption arc onto Asuka as Potato gets that trade onto White Candy. Once again, bringing the numbers down to a 3v3. The spike is not on any site yet. Bakita getting Potato down extremely low and finally finding him. But Hui got his back, going to be able to get that trade. We are seeing back-to-back trades come out from both teams. They have 13 seconds left on the clock. Hui's going to have to work extremely quickly to try and get this cleanse out. BXW going to try to get him down, but that barrier mesh comes out just in time as Marcus Pork finds that pick onto Lua.
Absolutely, and with the ability from Deadlock there, he
sonic sensor.
No, the
Grav net?
Yeah, the other one.
The barrier mesh.
Yeah, the barrier mesh.
we're just cycling through all the abilities. We'll get there at some point.
We just threw it there, and he just trusted that. He just ran across there, even seeing the defender there, just threw it across, and this grab net as well. It's just gonna give him more information.
We might be seeing that Annihilation coming out.
That could be big here as he starts to push him, and he's getting.
Once again, we are seeing that really nicely used Annihilation, and it's just so sad, you know. Being in BXW, ZIV, BB200, DYXOWM's place many times, you know, it's just so unfortunate. When you are the last person left, caught in the Annihilation, and there's just nothing you can do, is you're looking at your screen going, why are we dragging this out? Why are we dragging this out right now? I just want this round to be over with. I want to go home. You know, wife and kids waiting for me. Dinner on the table.
There's a new meaning to the blue screen of death there. You know, just just being stuck in that little cocoon. It's just terrible. But we do see another timeout. This is the third timeout of the match.
By the end of this game, I'm going to be so good at saying BXW. I don't remember the rest of it.
Well, I can't wait till you nail it.
I'm going to nail it by the end of this game. But, you know, obviously with the timeout being called, I don't think they were expecting for SNHU to, you know, get into their rhythm just a little bit.
Yeah, literally like switch up. Like they won, I believe, 3 rounds in a row here. It's 7-9. And they're just on a roll. It doesn't look like UMA is stopping them anytime soon there. So if UMA, again, being on the defending side, I feel like we saw their Sage kind of use their walls in tricky areas here. I feel like if they use the Sage wall, just immediately block off mid or B, then that way SNHU kind of has to think about where the defenders are everywhere else on the map and kind of think, do they really want to push this site while making noise?
It does look like they might be playing it a little bit differently now. SNHU looks towards a full 5-stack all the way over to B, but they are still playing extremely slowly. Honestly, I was expecting them to just run full force and, you know, all kamikaze and try to get all their picks. Bakita gonna be caught out in back as he tries to ice them out. Blitz going straight out the site, finding his as Potato opens that round up by finding BXW on the site as well. This gives them a completely open site. This is great for SNHU Yellow. Once again, a super quick entry, and it's just been their style. It's been working out for them for the past 3 rounds. Candy still left up on Heaven. Gonna be trying to find a few picks here, but once again, with the sheriffs that they're working with, they're gonna have to wait for SNHU to walk into them, and they know that they are outnumbered at this moment. So they're trying to get as many guns as they can while not losing any members.
Yeah, they just kind of have to play slow here. Blitz might be in a very good spot, but he is blinded.
That is so unfortunate. Blitz goes down to White Candy. Asuka, who in Marcus Port just clean it up. That's so sad. I can't tell you the amount of times I'm just staring at a white screen and you're like, you're pressing W, you're trying to get away, and then you find out that you've just been looking at a wall this entire time.
I don't think I've had that similar issue. I don't believe so.
The amount of times I have gotten caught off guard with the flashpoint, just not being able to do anything, but PXW bringing in the big guns with that operator.
He's going in strong there. You know, if I really want, it's gonna be terrible, but I want to see Raze fly in there with an operator.
Hey, you know, just no scope, eh?
It's insanely inaccurate, and it'd be like 1 in a million chance you'd ever get it to really hit there. But it's I don't think we're ever gonna see that here. And SNHU going for a little bit on the slower side again here. not even picking up spike, kind of playing default almost, waiting for UMA to push up because they know that SNHU has been super aggressive. So they can only assume that they're taking it pretty slow here, and that wall coming down is going to alert them to go over onto A.
Suka bringing up that Cosmic Divide is going to start the push for SNHU Yellow. Poor Lua, he is contained on site, but he looks away. Oh, Blitz falls to Lua. That is unfortunate timing.
Look at Suka right now. Suka and Hui, they're fake them out, going for a full map rotate, and is able to just go straight to B, insanely quick there. And now Yume instantly on the retake, and SNHU is able to get control.
Bakita, however, going to be able to find Marcus Pork, and he is going to lose. Oh, dear. Why Candy Toxify just cleaning it up. I don't think they expected that reverse sweep, because I sure as hell did not.
I mean, kind of having that that quick rotate where you're able to get site completely. At the same time, with 4 attackers, you have 5 defenders all just coming at you with people they can trade out with. You have 2 people from Heaven, 1 from CT, and 2 from Flank there. On paper, it works out super well, but Yume is not going to give them any time to rest up and kind of be able to hold angles there, because it's just so favorable for Yume to rush in there again. But going to this round, Y Candy, Toxify, and Bakita all have their ultimates here. SNHU able to get that Viper's Pit and the Rolling Thunder. I can see that being used instantly, and then just being able to get bombed down, popping that pit. It's going to be so difficult for Yume to try and push in here. And Toxify with 3 stars down near A as well could just work so well in his favor, but he may have just turned around at the wrong moment.
You know, you get impatient sometimes. You know, there's no action. You want to hear what's happening on the other side. And we also have to remember, Lua is left with all of his utility down on A site. So the minute he needs it, those stars can and will be popped, which is such a great thing, you know, about playing Astra. You can go cross map.
Literally, and it looks like SNHU again doing a very slow push here, finally be able to get that breach ability down, putting Toxify in the ropes, and now SNHU can take so much area up onto A Heaven.
Like you said, that space that they're going to gain is just immensely helpful towards their push. And we are just seeing all sorts of utility getting thrown, not even thrown, just lobbed towards them. You know, we've got that grab net, got every single piece of breach utility. We just want to fish Bakita out. Ooh. Oh, that Rolling Thunder comes out, and Lua gets that first pick onto Suka. Bakita, full blind, is going to get Marcus. Porcus, Potato, and Blitz find their picks of their own. Toxify getting that trade onto Potato. Bakita also going to be able to get his resurrection onto Y Candy to bring this back to a 1v5 as BXW uses that operator and gets one onto Blitz. Toxify finishing that round off, going to find Hui, bringing that 11th round home to UMass Amherst.
Yeah, that grab net ability at the end there, with just Hui being vulnerable, he couldn't really move. It's just, you just got to accept it at that point there. UMA being 2 rounds away from victory here, they're in a pretty favorable spot every single time, and we are going to see a timeout here. I was just about to mention, if we do look at the map there, every single round that UMA has won, it's been a defuse.
Yeah.
So, and every time SNHU has won, it's been an attack, or one round, or one round that a detonator blew up. But again, they were able to get the picks.
You mean
onto
that
them.
it detonated?
It detonated. Whatever. But I think SNHU just needs to kind of hold their ground, if that makes sense. They're getting the plant down.
They're getting the plant down, and then they're playing so aggressively without remembering that, you know, they have time on their side. All they have to do is fish them out, because in the end, they have that time.
Yeah, not even. It's like they fish them out in the beginning, and then you can literally just play defensive.
Yep.
You're playing attack and then a defensive in one shot. So it's really kind of just having that mentality of go in quick and then kind of stay slow.
But if we go back and we see it, SNHU's strong suit is not defense.
That's very true.
You know, we are known to be an attack-sided school. Like, all of our teams across all of our games are extremely attack heavy, and like, who can blame them?
Yeah, I mean, that's where the action's at.
Exactly. Like, where am I'm not gonna get my picks by just hanging back.
Yeah, no one wants to really sit down and sit back. You know, everyone kind of just wants to rush in there, but sometimes it's just in your best benefit not to. Like, at the end of the day, you gotta think, you know, do you want to win the game or not? or do you want cool clips? So
I don't know. Those clips sounding hella good right now. Oh, Marcus Pork almost falling victim to BXW's operator, but he's able to get away just by the skin of his teeth.
Yeah, just barely getting out of that area there. BXW being able to have that.
Oh, Lua
operator.
falling to Potato, who gets his first of this round. That's going to be great as he's able to fall back. Why can't he not able to get the trade as of yet? Pakita looking away as 3 from SNHU advance. Going to try to get that wall up. Why can't he getting that trade onto Potato? Finally, Suka gonna get that trade back onto Pakita. Marcus Fork also finding BXW. Ooh, Toxify gets locked out with the barrier mesh. Quick little reload as Hui gets that plant down. It's down to a 4v2. See that, like I said, I expected this barrier mesh to come in super handy, and Marcus Port can be able to use that to get Toxify down. You know, obviously you're going to hear them hammering away at the barrier mesh. It's so easy to use that to your advantage, use that to get your picks. Why can't he? Left in this 1v4 situation, he's going to try to get it out. That flashpoint down, Suka is waiting for him. Oh! But why can't he? Able to get Suka out before he's able to do too much more. Left on 30 HP, those pain shells might be a little bit dangerous, and it might just incentivize him to walk right into Marcus Pork. He is going to bring that Vandal out, however. Ooh, flash! On his third. We might be seeing a white candy as he gets a fourth onto Blitz, who he just has to play for time. In this game of cat and mouse, is he going to fall for that ace? Why can't he with that ace? But it's not enough.
Why can't he just stay on top of his game? SNHU is like, no, I'm going to get this kill. Oh, you didn't get the kill. No, I'm going to get this kill.
I'm going to get this kill.
They keep swinging out one by one there. And why can't he just capitalizing on all of that? Able to get that ace. And
yeah, you know, like right now we're going clip it.
He has 3,000 extra creds to work around with, and SNHU is gonna be under that 1,000 cred status here. So that means SNHU really needs to win this round here, and BXW with this operator being so far pushed up, getting that pick right away. He's not even playing Jet, and he's just able to get out of those sticky situations.
Ooh, Bakita gonna get caught in that rolling thunder. Suka finally using his stars as well. It looks like we are going to have 2 Nebulas going out to try and smoke off Heaven. Hui going to get that pick onto Y Candy as Marcus Pork got iced just for a little bit, but that's not going to stop his roll. We are also going to see him send that Aftershock out, but Bakita gets him from behind. Who are you going to find Bakita as Toxify and BX each find their picks onto Potato and Suka. It's all up to Hui, and unfortunately he falls to BX with his third on that operator, bringing us to match point.
I don't know if you saw it, but as they were pushing out onto B there, BXW literally, you know when you pull out your gun and it has to cock a little bit before you're able to shoot it, and you kind of do a little jump, like a dance, little dance to miss the bullets. He did that and got the pick with the operator.
I hate it when that happens. You know, like when you're falling in midair and that stray bullet just gets you that headshot. You're like, how did this happen? This is not fair. I am not for this. I am going to be lodging a formal complaint with HR.
Yeah.
I will be taking this up.
And SNHU here, again, like I said before, that round it was so pivotal for them, and now they're just working with such little weapons.
I know, and on match point, this is not the situation you want to be caught in at all.
But they have 3 ultimates to work around with. If they're just able to use it perfectly, they will get a chance to win this round.
Oh, Marcus Pork once again getting iced out, and this is definitely going to slow his roll, as is with everyone else. This is just unfortunate, and you know, I'm very happy to be seeing them play a lot slower. Oh! Lua almost getting shot down by Potato, but in the end, it's just not enough. But he is still left on about 30 HP, so that's definitely a little bit better, but still not as good.
Yeah, I mean, it's a death to a sheriff shot, which is what mainly SNHU is running. Unfortunately for SNHU, he did just get healed.
Y Candy is in a dangerous position, and we do see him fall to Hui.
It's so scary where SNHU is going to really push up here. It looks like they're making a full B push, but the members of UMA do not want to push up yet, because we have seen SNHU and UMA in the past be able to win these guns, or these rounds.
Coming from behind all the way through Mail. That was something that I'm sure UMA did not expect, as he was able to get 2 down, and it's down to a 4v2 in the blink of an eye. We do see that Lua and BWX are split up on opposite sides of the map, but Lua gonna be able to get his neutral theft off as Suka finds that trade onto Lua. But it's still so much information for BXW. But, you know, with an operator, it's kind of hard, especially in this 1v3 situation. You want to save that off. You know you're 1 round off. You don't need to go and pick those fights.
Yeah, an operator costs a lot of money as well. You can't really be like dropping it, picking up a Vandal, and then just buying it again. It's really not. It's not worth it in that way here. UMA has 2 rounds to play around with, but the only issue is that SNHU, they're just going to have stronger guns now. They're not going to be able to work around with the little Sheriffs or Spectres that they had before here. Being able to get these Vandals and Phantoms mean you're able to get one-shot headshots, and SNHU is also pretty high in the ultimates as well. I mean, 4 out of the 5 members, if one's a showstopper, control pit, and then like the annihilation as well. Those ultimates can all be almost guaranteed kills, and it's scary to kind of push up against that here.
Does look like they're playing a lot slower, and I mean,
yeah, I thought they were just gonna satchel in real quick, like it always does.
I'm not surprised actually. Like, with them having only 1 round and 4 ultimates, they know that they have to bide their time. They have to wait, because if they get picked off, they lose, you know, all of the abilities. Obviously, they lose a player, but those ultimates could be exactly what they need to turn the tides. You know, I know there isn't a harbor, but
I wish there was. On a map
I don't
like
think
this,
harbor on the map like this is very conventional.
I mean, if you're able to use Viper's E ability in a way, why not make it better and just have it curve?
I guess you're right. Oh, Bakita might be walking right into Hui.
Oh,
He falls to Hui. Why Candy looking for redemption? Gonna bring Hui down to 20 HP, but he knows when to retreat. Gonna pick that spike up, join the rest of his team.
They know that one defender is now going to be on B here, while the remaining members of UMA are just going to have to slowly rotate over, because it's still not a guaranteed push. Only having such small information can only motivate them to go in this area here. And
they're wrapping around. Oh, Marcus Port gonna be able to find Louis. Toxify drops 3 onto Marcus Port, Blitz, and Hui. This is dangerous with 14 seconds left on the clock. Why Candy gonna find Suka? It's all up to Potato. He's gonna get caught out by the gravity well and the boom bot, and falls to Toxify for his 4th kill. This is the first map heading over to UMass Amherst. What a fun first map to go through. 23 rounds in total, and just back-to-back action. You know, for a while there, I really thought we might be going into overtime for a little bit.
It did look like it. I mean, SNHU was on that path there. But again, this was an away pick.
Yes, this was UMass Amherst pick. So next up, we will be heading straight into Bind, which is Snoo's pick, with them starting on attack.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited for it. It's
so
fine.
You guys aren't going to want to miss this. Don't go anywhere. We're going to be back just after, 5 short minutes. So we'll be right back after this break. We'll see you then.
Bye.
welcome back. I hope you guys are excited because I am exhilarated. I cannot wait. This is the second map that I get to practice BXW 2O.
Hey, you got 2 more characters than you did the
I don't
first
even
time.
know if that's correct, but we are heading straight into Snoo's pick now. We're going to bind with them starting attack. UMass Amherst, they are going to be on defense, as we see. For those of you that are just joining us, welcome to SNHU Esports. Tonight is Valorant night. Happy Monday, everyone, and we are going to be watching SNHU Yellow today as compared to our normal SNHU Blue. On this game, it will be SNHU Yellow versus UMass Amherst, or the UMass Aces, I guess that's what we call them. That's a really cool name. I like that.
Yeah, it's getting that alliteration in. I mean, yeah.
And we did see that first map head over to UMA with them winning 13-9. So very, very close games. We had a lot of really interesting moments come out, and I'm expecting to see nothing less in the next map. So obviously, Madhav, this is your favorite map. Why don't you take it away? Why don't you talk a little bit about it?
Well, again, this is SNHU's pick here. Yes, it is my favorite map, and I think, well, not my favorite, but like my favorite out of these 3 here. And I feel like there are a lot of different tactics that SNHU can use to defending and attacking wise, but it really all matters on situation. For character lineups, I think we're gonna see more of that double smoke combo there. Astra and Viper, if not maybe Harbor, that might be pushing it a little bit there. But any smoker to really just split off any big line of sight. Mainly Viper is going to be huge on this one. And then obviously you have your filler smokes, like we mentioned before, Omen, Astra. And honestly, for Bind, I kind of want to see a little bit of Brimstone.
I mean, Fade is really good on Bind too.
Yeah, it is true. Initiating for
if you want Fade on any rotation, Bind is the best map to put her on because you have the Nightfall, you have your Prowlers, you have your Seas, and they're just such amazing pieces of utility. But why don't we just head straight into it and see what we've got? Oh, wow. SNHU coming straight out the park, locking everything in. Why don't you take us through them while we wait and let UMA just solidify their picks a little longer?
Yeah, so we see Potato again staying on that Viper there. Marcus Pork on the Chamber. Suka on the Sky. Hui on the Duelist. And Blitz is going to be on the Smokes there, playing that Brimstone. Like I obviously told the future, Viper and Brimstone there, being able to get those 2 very strong smokers is just going to be so beneficial for SNHU.
We're seeing a lot of difference already coming out from UMA. BXW once again running that Raze, possibly Lua on the Harbor. I think that could be pretty interesting. Toxify, the Brim, Bakita, the Reyna. With Bakita being on Sage before, having that switch up, them going to Duelist could be very interesting. And Y Candy on the Sova. I think Sova is also another great agent to have on a map such as Bind. So we are going to be seeing a lot of very different agents. I really, really hope Lua puts in the Gecko.
They know you want to see Gecko, so they're hovering in.
But my second favorite Sova, so I can live with Y Candy finally picking in the Sova. BXW, ZIV, BB20, DYX, WOF. I'm getting so good at it now. On the Raze, Lua on the Harbor, Toxify getting that Omen, and Bakita with the Reyna. This is our solidified lineup, and with, 1 repetition with that Raze, this is going to be really interesting to watch. We've only got 1 mirror agent. Everyone else is different.
Yeah, again, like you said before, switching up that Sage to the Reyna here. Last game, we saw Bakita pull some very aggressive angles with Sage. Unfortunately, it did not work in their favor, but kind of playing that aggressive and using your walls to kind of, just attack enemies where they're not used to seeing. Switching the agent from Sage over to Reyna doesn't surprise me too much there, because you can kind of just tell that they're a pretty strong attacker there. And we are going to see that Harbor. I thought the Harbor may be pushing it here, but it just looks like I don't believe they had the Viper beforehand either. So now playing Harbor again, being able to get that long wall, you have the Cascade, you have the little cove that you can throw, basically a throwable smoke or a little cage if you want. And then again, the Turn the Tides, amazing ultimate, gets you to move all the time, and it's so hard to. I want to say not I want to say retake because you can just keep walking, but it's so hard to move around it.
Oh, really, really fast showers push, but it is going to be a showers push into not much.
Yeah, I don't know if I call that really fast.
Well, I thought it was going to be really fast, but they ended up just not going anywhere. We do see that wall come up as well. It looks like Lua was just trying.
Oh
Oh,
my.
Potato doing a lot of damage onto Lua. That's going to hurt.
Yeah, that's one headshot off there. And a big difference of what UMA doesn't have now is that they don't have that healer to get them back up to 100 HP here. So now their Harbor is just going to have to work with the HP they have.
Oh, BXW going to find that first pick onto Hui. All the way over at Hookah. So that was definitely a little bit of a division. Oh, Marcus Pork does look like he's going to try and walk right out. And he's going to walk straight into BXW, who finds the second pick onto Marcus Pork. Potato going to find BX for that trade. It's down to a 3v4. It looks like Suka's going to try and get that plant down as Blitz tries to send some of his Sky Smokes out. Lua once again left on 13 HP after that really nice pick coming out from Hui. He's going to be looking into Blitz at elbow, and he goes straight down. Ooh, Bakita going to be able to find one onto Blitz. A second onto Potato. It's down to a 1v3. It's all up to Suka. He does have the plant out, so all he has to do is wait for them to walk towards him. But they are walking the opposite direction. Bakita looks straight into him and finds his third onto Suka.
Yeah, getting that headshot there with just one bullet of the classic is not enough to take down Bakita there. The first round gonna be going over onto UMA. Unfortunately, SNHU could not, keep their streak of the pistol rounds here. UMA is gonna get the advantage this time, and White Candy, I just need to mention it now, already hovering that Ares there. It's basically just the child form of the Odin. It's so strong, it shoots so fast. It's great on Ascent, especially for the second round. On Bind is still very well bangable. It very much depends on where the attackers are pushing here. But SNHU, because UMA has so much money, SNHU does not. They just kind of have to work with what they have here. I mean, most characters don't even have all of their ultimates here. And Potato may have 3 members come into his eyesight very soon.
Potato does know that they were just there to get that ult point, and you know, with the cascade now falling and his smoke screen as well, that's going to be pretty tricky for them. But it does look like SNHU is trying to push all the way up to A. We are Potato getting that really nice sheriff shot off at Lua. The Guardian comes out from Bakita, and unfortunately, Potato does fall. Toxify also with that Guardian going to find Blitz. Suka and Marcus Pork each finding their own onto Toxify and Bakita. Suka once again going to get that plant down. BXW getting a little bit of damage onto Marcus Pork as well as the paint shells. And why can't he going to be able to find both Suka and Hui? It's off to Marcus Pork. He's left on low HP. He is also not quite in U-Haul, trying to stay a little bit out of it, you know, staying within his rendezvous. Oh, we might be seeing that diffuse come out. Oh, and why can't he with that area? He's going to take Marcus Pork down. Unfortunate.
Yeah, SNHU going for a pretty aggressive push there, especially onto A, putting that bomb down where it's more favorable towards CT. It works out really well when the defenders are going to be on the attacking side, but unfortunately, Y Candy was in CT, able to get 2 picks off, and Marcus Pork only had his Chamber Sheriff to really work with there. And
yeah, that Headhunter, you know, it's a good pistol to have, but you know, you have to remember, there's only like, what, 6 bullets in it?
I believe there's 8 bullets if it hasn't been changed, and I think it's always a one-shot headshot, but that means you just need to be 100% accurate with the headshot every single time.
That is why I will never play Chamber.
And again, SNHU kind of going for another aggressive push here, especially onto this 3rd round. They're going to be pushing up towards this B area, B long, and just have Potato kind of lurk over onto A there.
I really hope they check their corners because Bakita is in a very dangerous position right now.
Oh yeah, I mean, we saw it many times happen on B there, and it looks like they're just going to do a full map rotate, and their Harbor might be in a little bit of trouble.
Ooh, Blitz is still left on B though, however, and you know, with Potato and Marcus Pork each entrying, finding their picks, it's going to make it really easy for Suka once again to get that plant down. It does look like they're trying to farm Suka's ult back up.
Yeah, it's again, it being 2-0 right now, SNHU has a lot of better guns to work with than UMA does right now. And if UMA wants to win this round, I think they just have to go in full force, assuming that their guns just match what SNHU has right now.
Nikita left on low HP, but, you know, we cannot forget, as Reyna, they are able to get a lot of, you know, utility out of it if they're able to get a kill. Why can't he able to find Blitz? Marcus Pork finding Bakita, Hui and Potato just finishing that off, finding each of their own picks onto BX and Y Candy. Great round coming out of SNHU. Definitely a round they needed to take that bonus away from UMA.
Yeah, but now UMA is going to be able to have credits that they did save up beforehand here and just be able to use that to match up the weaponry that SNHU currently has. But SNHU has an average of around 3,000 credits. Whether they win or lose, they're going to have enough for the next round here. So I wouldn't be surprised to see SNHU play a little reckless. It's not the best idea.
Blitz, you know, not having a gun, we might actually be seeing a little bit of a lighter buy coming out. You know, trying to keep those creds up. So I do believe Blitz might just be, you know, left lurking to try and grab a few guns off. Oh, Lua gonna fall to Potato. Really, really nice first pick. And you see him immediately pull back, not trying to push his luck. That was a great first pick to come out from SNHU to already bring the numbers down. Looks like they're going for a little bit more of a default, no? You know, just...
Yeah, look, they're just playing it slow here. They're not really trying to push in so fast. I really thought they would here just because of the credits and the numbers that they have right now. But SNHU just kind of keeping their cool. They know that so far for every single round of this game, their Harbor has been pushing up to showers and getting that ult point there. And that is how they have their ultimate. But as of right now, most of the team members of UMA are just kind of taking their time, not really pushing up onto the Fender side and just really playing for retake here. Maybe get one pick to a duelist that's going to push out or not. But again, SNHU is very split up right now.
Oh, Marcus Pork! Oh, I was just going to say Y Candy in a beautiful position gets that nice pick onto Marcus Pork.
Oh.
Getting headshot, but still able to live. And unfortunately falls to the Hunter's Fury from Y Candy. Bakita getting his onto Blitz. Suka gets that trade onto Bakita. It's down to a 3v2. 16 seconds left on the clock. Suka has to plant now or he is not going to get it out. Potato getting that nice shot onto Toxify. Suka finally able to get that plant down with 7 seconds left on the clock. We are also going to see those Seekers coming out, so we know exactly why we had those ults, you know, getting farmed up.
Absolutely, those Seekers are just going to do so much for SNHU. They're getting a lot of information. However, Y Candy does have that Owl Drone to be able to clear a lot of areas. It looks like SNHU's Sky is going to loop all the way around there, but BXW could just be walking straight into Potato.
Playing a little bit recklessly, gonna fall to Potato, but Y Candy getting that trade back onto Potato. All Suka has to do is wait for Y Candy as he's planted very nicely for showers. We might see that trailing light go out, and he knows he's blinded, waiting for Y Candy. He knows that he has to look into him, and we are going to see him go down. Really beautiful round come out of SNHU. Unfortunately, Suka does not get out of the bomb, but you know, do you really need to?
I don't think we do. If we do it here, we are gonna see a very early timeout come in here, and with the game being so early, we literally just had 2 pistol rounds and then 2 regular gun rounds. So kind of hard to really depict whether UMA should be steamrolling or SNHU should be steamrolling.
I mean, we have been seeing very early timeouts getting called from UMA, so I'm not surprised to see that once again getting called here. And I wonder if their strategy is just to like shake them up a little bit. You know, they're like, oh, it's really early, but here's a timeout. Do what you will with it. And obviously that's going to be like, okay, why are they calling a timeout so early? Are they already changing out their playstyle? We haven't even seen their playstyle yet.
So you're saying it's more of like a mental game than an actual
I think it really is
game.
A mental game, because we have to remember, like Valorant, yes, it's all about skill, but in the end, if you're able to mentally get into the heads, they'll be like, okay, maybe we should stop playing it this way, when they're saying like, okay, let's make them think they should stop playing it this way.
Yeah, okay.
So much of it is a mental game because all of these players have such incredible skills when it comes to the game.
I see that happening, but at the same time, it's like, I feel like that only work if it was like final map, like decider, and it's like first round into the game timeout. I feel like that is going to be the most important time. If SNHU is able to get this win, we may see that in the decider. Who knows here? But going on to this 5th round, UMA has the Empress and the Harbor Ultimate there. Great abilities for selfishness and and a turn to tides for a retake here. And it looks like we are going to see a little bit of a pause here. So if anything, just an extended timeout.
Well, I mean, this is great because now, like you said, we can talk a little bit more about the ultimate. With the turn to tide, obviously, it's a very useful ultimate, but
you can't
I feel like trying to farm that ult so early and having that repetitive motion, that is the reason why we saw him fall so quickly to Potato that first round. And as we head back out of this tech pause, I'm very interested to see what we're going to have out of them, especially with such a light buy. We've got 4 Sheriffs, 1 Guardian. It looks like they are trying to group up and play together. Ooh, Blitz gonna get that first pick onto BXW.
Yeah, it looks like SNHU was just able to get that read that UMA was coming off there, especially because they know that they have to play out pistols. They know that they're going to play a little bit more aggressive there. So using that stim and just being able to run to that position and catch them off guard really worked out in their favor.
That Trailblazer got a lot of information for all of the team at SNHU. Suka really able to use that to the best of his ability as Marcus Pork tries to walk out through tree and get a little bit more information. I think he knows that both of them are up in hookah, but if they're able to get onto site and garner site control as Marcus Pork is now doing by going through back site, this is going to be very dangerous as Y Candy and Bakita are still looking towards hookah. Potato going to be able to find his pick onto Lua all the way at the other side of the map. Y Candy tries rotating over, but it's not enough as Potato goes down to him.
Yeah, Potato actually rotating there. Y Candy just being able to kind of push out towards that hookah area, now playing the attacker side over onto Bomb here. He has a little bit of an advantage to work with as the members of SNHU don't exactly know where every single team member is yet, but Bakita is going to get that first pick onto Suka.
The spike is already planted, and we do hear the time ticking down. Blitz gonna try and find one onto Y Candy. He gets his pick, but Bakita's right there to get that trade. Blitz going to fall to Bakita as Hui finds Toxify. It's a 1v2. Marcus Pork gonna be able to get that last trade onto Bakita to win that that third round.
Yeah.
Oh, that was hard to say.
I mean, it's hard to say, especially with that Chamber TP right in the middle of that gunfight as well. Normally, I feel like Chamber's hitbox can be a little sketchy, especially when he teleports there.
Yeah, that rendezvous coming out in the middle of the round is very interesting to say the least.
Yeah, sometimes it catches you and sometimes it doesn't there. So using that just worked out well for him. And Marcus Pork is actually only 1 away from his ultimate there. Suka is not gonna be running any guns whatsoever here, and UMA only has that Harbor ultimate because they did pop the Empress last round.
Trailblazer going to be forcing Toxify all the way out from U-Haul. We are going to see that Paranoia come out as well, getting good 3 members from SNHU. Boombot being used by Hui to try and get a little bit of information. Once again, Toxify forced out of U-Haul's. Potato finds that first pick onto Lua. SNHU blazes right onto site. Potato finds a second onto BXW. Bakita finding that trade onto Potato and Suka. Getting Bakita with that classic. That's gotta hurt.
Yeah, the classic's always gonna be good.
Oh, Marcus Pork getting spotted crossing over onto a bench by Toxify, but with him up in heaven, you know, not too many places where he can run to, waiting for Y Candy to rotate over and be with him. That spike's already down. They're in a 2v4. This is very tricky. I thought Y Candy would want to play with Toxify, but it does look like they're splitting up, which worked for them as Y Candy is able to find his pick onto Marcus Pork.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to be able to get there in time. They have to run insanely fast right now. Looks like Toxify is just going to go maybe stick for that defuse there. The recon does come out, and there's just not enough time for any more trades to happen here. Y Candy is going to run away, try and escape. Will be able to get
barely
out with his gun there and save that over onto the next round.
If his toe was just a little bit bigger, he would not have made it out.
Yeah, I mean, it's so scary. I feel like, especially in those moments when I'm playing, I feel myself like leaning towards the.
I know. I'm like, oh my god.
I'm like, run, getting out of that area there. And SNHU, like I mentioned before, Marcus Pork being 1 away from that ultimate, he is going to be able to use that this round here. That's going to be great for these long line sites over on to B here. And they do have a little bit of long sights on A, but it's mostly defender sided here. But again, pushing it strong, Toxify using that Paranoia to clear a lot of space.
This frenzy coming out from BXW, you know, he wants to take those close fights, those pain shells coming out, and we see the turnip force as well from Marcus Pork. Not quite able to find any value as of yet, but they know it's out, and he is not here to play.
Are you sure? Because his voice line is...
You want to play? Let's play. Well, you know, maybe he's here to have a little bit of tomfoolery, but, you know, he's still looking to get value out of it. White Candy gonna get forced out. Ooh, finds value in Hui, but Blitz right there to get that trade onto White Candy. Once again, Suka on that plan. I mean, the Seekers are such a valuable ultimate, so I'm not surprised that they are constantly just farming Suka's ultimate.
Marcus Pork also very in a strong attacking move here. That smoke is down, but he's just holding this area. We do see the Turn the Tides come out there.
Ooh.
He's able to get a pick.
Oh, and he falls to Bakita. The showstopper coming out from BXW might be getting a lot of value, but he looks in the wrong place. Suka not quite able to get him down to 5 HP as that Cove goes down. Ooh, Suka finally finding him, and we also see the
Brimstone ultimate come out there. In the end,
open up the sky. I always
I think it's the
of it.
Is it the Hellfire? Is that what it is? No. Oh man. Now
I always like calling it open up the sky, but that is 100% not what it's called. It is actually called the Orbital Strike.
Oh, smart. It's insane how you got that so quick there. But yeah, using that ultimate there, I think it was a little bit of a overcommitment. I'd say they were able to get the pick in the end. The Orbital Strike did provide a lot of time there, but unfortunately in the end, with the bomb already halved and with Marcus Pork just trying to run towards that area, it just did not work too well in his favor here. But White Candy on the defending side does have his ultimate, the Sova ultimate here, the Hunter's Fury, and it's either you pop it early or you get you get some information and you pop it then. There's no other reason why you should.
Blitz is gonna try and get a little bit out, but we do see that Leer and the paint shells come out. You know, it's just not enough. The Seekers once again being popped by Suka. Lua gonna try and throw Potato off his scent by just tapping that ult point. Toxify getting caught in the middle of every single ultimate known to man. Not ultimate.
Ability.
Utility, exactly. Potato going to find Lua finally, as we also hear the Hunter's Fury come out. Marcus Pork gonna be able to find his pick onto Toxify to bring that down to a 4v2 now, as Bakita and Hui each able to find their own. That Spike's gonna get planted as well. The Revitalize coming out. White Candy, ooh, gonna try to get that shock dart out. Blitz falling to BXW as he gets a really nice blast pack down. White Candy finding Suka as he's trying to cross over. Hui finding that trade onto BXW. It's down to a 2v1. It's all up to White Candy. He's gonna try to get that recon bolt out, and he walks right into Potato.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's where, you know, not checking your corners kind of just come up and just hit you and a little bit in the back there. We see that on both teams, and unfortunately, we saw it onto White Candy today here. And Bakita is already back to her Empress here. And if you look at her Katie from this map and from last map, it's like literally the opposite.
Night and day, but yeah. We cannot remember on Bakita's Sage. They had close to, I think the last time I checked, they
had like 6 kills, like literally.
Their assists were up there.
I bet. I mean, you're healing.
Absolutely valuable team players, so we cannot discredit them for that.
Absolutely here, and it looks like the main members of SNHU is just going to be pushing out so far here. Potato and Bakita may have a fight of their own. They're just barely looking at each other.
That's so scary. Potato finally able to catch Bakita off guard. Oh, Marcus Pork through the smoke. White Candy fighting Suka as Marcus Pork gets him for that trade. Toxify also finding Marcus Pork. Hui on that showstopper, finding that pick onto Toxify to bring that down to a 3v2. Blitz gonna be planting the spike this time, maybe farming up that orbital strike once again. Very interesting position to be left in, especially with them being in a 3v2 with BXW trying to come up all the way, as well as Lua, and
they only have so little to work with.
Exactly. We've got both boombots coming out, trying to get a little bit of information. Potato being left to play in hookah, as we see both Marcus Pork and Blitz heading towards back site. You know, trying to play an elbow. They want to make sure that they're near Fridge. Blitz and Hui just gotta finish that off. Really easy picks coming out from them, especially with that snake bite coming out to guarantee a lack of a defuse.
Yeah, when you're planning for default there, you normally assume for the remaining members to kind of be towards that long area and be able to hold, you know, pretty far, but it's always difficult because on Bind you can hide in so many different corners. I'm surprised we're not seeing a lot of breach here too, especially on defense and attacking. Kind of be able to hit those corners is just so devastating for the members here. And Potato is gonna have his ultimate. Being on the attack can be used for the plant down or just gaining space in general here.
Really, really quick push coming out of Hui. We also are going to see that stim beacon come out from Blitz, just giving him just a little bit more power. Bakita once again hiding in that devastating corner. I do hope Blitz got the memo from Potato.
Absolutely, and again, still stuck in that corner. It seems like a lot of these fights now are just enemies just barely seeing each other here. The cross lines are just they're not even. It's just so close to each other.
If the players could see what we see, they'd be freaking out.
Absolutely. It's insane how many times players will just be literally looking at each other and they don't even know it. Oh, Bakita might be getting a little bit impatient there. BX is able to get some information, so Bakita now knows that there's two members pushing up into A here. SNHU does not look like they're going to be pushing up anywhere specific.
Oh, Toxify with the judge. Gonna find Marcus Pork as Blitz is able to drop Bakita. Good trades coming out, but
it's like, in the end, it's Arena and it's a chamber.
Yeah.
That Sentinel with the TP and again having the selfishness that Arena needs to provide is just not there. Lua is also going to get a pick of his own there, and there's only 3 members of SNHU.
Lua finding a second onto Blitz. But Lua is going to be left on extremely low HP. That Recon Vault getting 2 really nice picks off onto Asuka. Oh, Potato going to be able to get his pick of his own, but just turns his back to BXW, who uses that to get both Potato and Suka. Finally getting another round.
Yeah, unfortunately, again, it's terrible because whenever it seems like SNHU just pushes up, it's either they push up too fast or they push up too late. And in that time of beginning and late, it's just like you put literally you push corners or sorry, you check corners or you don't.
You said in that time of beginning and late.
And late. Well, yeah, I mean, you rush in, you're not gonna check your corners, you're gonna check your teammates, and it's late, and it's like we don't have time to check corners. We need to get bombed down. So it's like you're just doing quick scans back and forth, and sometimes they just don't work out very well.
Potato looking straight into Lua. Poor Lua. The amount of Lua Potato altercations this round, honestly, I would be so sad.
We should get a Potato versus Lua win counter on our social media.
The mods, please throw that up.
Yeah,
thank you very much.
We could do that. That'd be pretty funny here. Toxify still rocking with that judge as well, not upgrading to.
I mean, the judge is pretty devastating, especially if you're being left to camp in U-Haul. You know, you look at the wrong corner because you have so many of them. Declare one blast and you are done.
Yeah, and he was in hookah the previous round there, so that could be a big reason why he's just not there again. Because once you know a member's there with the judge, you're just never going to push that location. I mean, we're 100%. Seeing it from SNHU right now. They're literally just going around hookah. They're not even bothering to look at it.
Very slow gunplay, but I'm very excited to see if Potato is going to be able to get into this altercation as we see 4 pushing up B long and Potato just being left in showers.
Toxin screen down.
Might be in it for the long haul if he's able to draw the rest of them over. Oh, the paint shell is going to signal their start. We're going to see him and get Bakita out as they get the rest of their team onto site. We do see the paint shells coming out as well, and the boom bot too. The sky smoke going to stop Y Candy from his push.
Spike planted.
Potato is so far from the rest of his team.
I know. He was just trying to draw everyone out, and it worked for a little bit. You know, he was able to keep them on site. We hear that showstopper come out as well, but we don't see anything come of it as BXW is able to drop Hui like he's hot. Marcus Pork getting 1-2 onto both BXW and Toxify. Y Candy just waiting there for that trade onto Suka, but it's not enough. Blitz finding Y Candy and getting him for that last pick of the round.
Yeah, it literally looks like there's like a score flip between these two teams here. I mean, it was the same kind of area last game here where it was 4-7, where they're 4-8 if SNHU wins here, and it's crazy how much a map pick can literally just turn around how the game is gonna be pushing here. And again,
it's all up to the comfort levels. What are you used to playing? What are you not used to playing? And we're, like you said, I think we mentioned this a little bit, but we're seeing not the normal conventional picks from UMass Amherst. Like, I cannot tell you the last time I saw a Sova Omen Harbor on the same team without a breach.
Yeah, I mean, you need like a certain agents. Some agents work together and some agents don't, and normally you at least have a pair there. And already right off the bat, UMA just doesn't have agent with them, but Suka just popping the Seekers is just gonna run into A site.
They're so good for getting information. They know that they're at U-Haul. We are also going to see that guiding light come out. Hui by the paranoia, almost getting caught in that orbital strike. Toxify hiding in this corner as Suka's by dice, gonna try to get him by triple.
It's so
Oh,
crazy.
and the tides are turning. Potato gonna get concussed, but Suka getting 3, getting 4. Convictions for a flawless round.
Insane controls, spray control
Switching
there,
sides.
just going from pick to pick to pick in just the matter of seconds. I mean, that is just insane. Insane there. Now we're going to be switching sides here. UMA is
Switching sides.
switching sides. I didn't even mean to do that. SNHU is now going to be on the defense here, and UMA is going to be on the attack. What do you think UMA is going to start out with on this pistol round based on how we've been seeing these other rounds here?
I have absolutely no clue. I would love to see them go for a super fast B hit. You know, just all of them running through hookah, maybe leaving 2 at long. I think that would be super fun to watch because, you know, we've already got, what is it, 2, 3 in hookah. So I think just them running into each other would just make for a very entertaining clip, if I do say so myself. And we see it come out immediately. Blitz is able to get that first pick onto Paquita. That's going to slow their roll by quite a bit. As we play a little bit of a back and forth, the paranoia going to come out and hit both Potato and Blitz. And Potato is unfortunately going to fall as Blitz also falls to
The paint shells.
BXW's paint shells. His paint shells are absolutely devastating, genuinely. Toxify going to find Suka, and it's just not looking that great for SNHU right now.
Yeah, a little bit of a massacre happening there. You literally called it, and the teams pushing up into hookah and then 2 going over onto long here. And now just 2 members of SNHU have to play retake here. I think it's best if they play close together. That way, if
Spike
Marcus Porch
planted.
isn't able to get that one-shot headshot, Hui is able to have his back and satchel away if he needs to here.
We are going to see that high tide as well, just delaying Hui slightly. Going to wait for it to drop because we can't forget that once you pass through that high tide, you are going to be slowed. That headhunter coming up, but it's not quite enough as BXW is able to find Marcus Pork for that 3rd hit, and Hui falling to Toxify for his 2nd. That's the 2nd pistol round this game heading over to UMA. So maybe the pistol curse does apply to yellow as well. Maybe it does.
Just for this map.
Just for this map.
Just for bind. Maybe it's just a bind curse.
See,
Right?
that's what I keep telling you. Bind
maybe,
sucks.
Maybe it's not a pistol map.
You know, I feel
it's
like
just a curse for everything.
We need to start putting like opinions up in chat. Do you guys agree with
We
me?
need a poll.
Exactly. Like, Bind is the worst map in this rotation.
Or is bind the best map?
Bind is the worst map. in
Comment
this
it
rotation.
now.
I am 100% right, and I cannot wait to prove to you that I am right. But we are going to start this once again, guns blazing. We've got 3 from SNHU pushed up all the way at A. Looks like they're going to be trying to find a pick through market. Suka leading the charge. This is so
Yeah, looks
funny.
like they
They're
literally-
leaving A completely open. Oh! From Black Happy
Oh
fighting
my
3 with
3.
that Guardian.
Right
What
there.
am I looking at?
It's just, I mean, they have these lesser guns, they have these sheriffs. It looks like they're just tearing off this band-aid of a round here. They don't want to work with these guns. They have to play close, and they're just pushing up as fast as they can right now. And with 3 members already gone, Blitz and Potato aren't in the best spot, but Blitz is able to get that pick right on it to White Candy there. Potato as well, evening things up, evening things closer up to 2-3 here.
That was such a good pick coming out from Blitz. It just completely broke our stream and my ears. But, you know, we love to see it. It's all for the clip. In this 2v5 situation, Spike's already down. Potato actually toxified with the judge in the smoke. That dark cover coming through. Blitz navigating through all the sky smokes on the floor currently. And it does look like BXW behind triple might be catching him out. And he does with that Phantom. Did we realize he had a Phantom?
Well, that was their bonus from last round there, and it was just working in their favor. So I'm not surprised to see that Phantom. Not even a bonus. It was just their normal buy there. But I think we did just gloss over the weaponry as we were talking about which map is better.
Well, you know, maps, Vine just sucks.
Ow.
That's
Yeah, totally.
end of discussion.
You know what? You're right. I'll give you that. But going on to the weaponry again, so we don't gloss over it here. UMA is going to be able to have some pretty strong guns. Nothing like all Vandals here, but
I
at
mean,
least 3
White
members.
Candy on that Guardian was devastating last round, so I'm not surprised that he's still going to be rocking it.
Yeah, and Potato may just be seeing 3 members of UMA in his sightlines so soon here.
Oh, really? I need that recon ball. Oh my god, did you see that?
Yeah, it was cool. It thought it was coming right at you, but it just bounces away, and it was just able to get that scan off. And now UMA is able to push up comfortably, knowing that Potato is either there, and if he's not there, he clearly, very much clearly backed off. But it doesn't look like they're going to make a full push.
Pork. Beautiful picks coming out from Marcus Pork, dropping both BXW and Bakita. Both the duelists going down instantly. That's going to slow the push slightly. But it's so funny because both the duelists were in shower, which is the complete opposite to Belong, where
it was just like,
they're currently pushing up. Toxify gonna drop Blitz.
just right through the smoke as well, I believe. And it just, again,
I mean, it's a little bit of a one-way.
Is it?
It is, yeah. There's a little sliver where Toxify is able to look right through the map.
He was just able to use that in his favor, and now, again, still playing really slow, even though SNHU knows where they are.
A smoke screen looks
30
like it'll be
seconds
going
left.
down soon. Yep, and with any chance of a cover, the high tide's going to come out. We are also going to see that Trailblazer come through, trying to get a little bit of information for SNHU. Oh, we might see that Shrouded Step come out as well. Try to get a little bit of a fake out from them. We see the high tide coming out. Oh, the Cascade too. Hui getting Lua through the Cascade. We are also going to see that Boombot come out as well as the Cove. Suka getting Toxified. 2 seconds left on the clock. They're able to get the plant down. It's off to Y Candy in this 1v4 situation. He still only has his Guardian, which is going to be pretty tricky, especially going up against 4 rifles. Potato looks into him. Oh, Y Candy still dropping Suka, but Potato is able to get that trade onto him, and Hui finds that defuse.
Yeah, SNHU is finally getting things into their favor here. 6-9 and a 3-round advantage, but UMA is really not that far off as you may think here. It only takes around 2 wins, I'd say, to make them go on a 4-win streak, just
100%.
because economy and you know, light buy wise here. And again, we saw a good amount of ultimates being used throughout this map. So now I believe on round 15 or 16 here, Y Candy only has his Hunter's Fury, and I believe we only saw that once. So again, using that as a post-plant scenario, I'll say it every time, it's just so beneficial and works out insanely well.
Oh, Lua gonna get that first pick onto Suka. Potato, however, fighting both Lua and Toxify, but Bakita is going to drop Potato. It's down to a 3v3 already, but Blitz is left on such low HP.
Yeah, kind of really just has to play the main smoker here. Can't really push up or swing as much as he used to. BXW having all of his utility and being just 2 away from a showstopper, he can really choose to play aggressive or defensive if he really wants to here. They have a minute left, so UMA could play a lot of mind games, like sending recon darts to the other site across map, if you may, you know, going into a teleport fakely. They have the time to rotate and recoup if they really want to play that mental mindset.
I think Marcus Pork could be poised to get a few really nice picks, but unfortunately falls to BXW. We are going to see that ult point come out as well, but BXW is so low at 30 HP, and we do see him just get taken out by the paint shells immediately. Hunter's Fury coming out, gonna catch Hui out. Oh, Blitz, it's all up to him. Left on 24 HP. Bakita is left so low as well. If he is able to find Y Candy first, might just be able to save this round, but we do see him not quite able to get those shots through the wall. We might be seeing that Recon Vault come out as well.
Oh, it's just so close seeing where the shots are really connecting here, but left on low HP, that shock dart
could have been devastating.
Yeah. He only has 1 smoke and a stim to really work with here. That is able to make him move faster and shoot faster, but even though UMA, even though UMA has 2 defenders there, they can still play pretty slow, but Bakita just swung out, and they had a hunch, they had a feeling.
Yeah, I mean, there isn't too many places where you can hide, especially knowing that they had that spray through triple. You know that he's probably going to be looking towards CT.
Yeah, it's kind of predictable, especially in a 1v2. You just kind of need to think about where they would be in that area. UMA closing this gap though, making it 7-9. If they win this one, it's 8-9, and then at that point, it's only one more round until it's 9-9 here. And SNHU is gonna be a little bit of a light by. Hui is gonna have that Bucky. If we see a Bucky play, I will be insanely happy here, especially on the attack. And with that bomb being so far back, we can tell instantly right off the start of this round, they're just gonna be playing.
They are looking for picks.
Yeah.
Oh, BXW just dropping Marcus Pork. Suka left with his gun. Oh, that's an unfortunate position to be caught in. You never want to be caught lacking with your knife out.
Absolutely, especially just switching back at the wrong moment there. Stayed in the same position, no movement whatsoever.
Same thing with Blitz as well,
Yeah.
trying to get a few shots off onto Toxify, but it's just not enough.
Maybe SNHU just needs to learn to walk out with their guns. They can't, the knife may not just be as much of a speed boost as they may
I know, but it's so satisfying to have your knife out. I recently had to swap over to having, 1, 2, and 3 be there for swaps. Toxify gonna drop Potato. Oh,
they're all gone.
all of them come through the teleporter.
Yeah, Hui is left back back towards their spawn here, and with a Bucky, he cannot push up into a bunch of Phantoms and Vandals. It's so impossible to be able to do that one-shot damage that the Phantoms and Vandal are able to give out. Maybe if he right-clicks, but that's like 20 damage max from where he's playing. He just kind of has to hold exits here, and this round is probably going to go to UMA.
I just feel so apprehensive for Hui. Like with that Bucky, every time I play Bind, I try my best to buy a Bucky. We are going to see that high tide come up, however, and I think his number's up. I think his jig is up. They're currently they're just hunting for him right now. We do. Oh, who's that Bucky? Trying to stop him from getting that flawless round.
I mean, he got his one.
He got his. That is all that matters in the end.
Yeah, again, closing that round up to 8-9 here, UMA is getting closer and closer, and I'm not surprised to see another timeout come out into this match here. I believe since the swap, SNHU has only won, I believe, 2 rounds or one round.
Now it's
Was it 4-8 or 5-7?
I think it was 4-8.
Okay, so they were only able to win 1 round since in the last 5 rounds. So
yeah, that's definitely it's a very precarious situation to be caught in, and I think it goes all the way back to them being so used to playing attack.
Yeah, it's like, again, when you're attack sided, when you're on defense, you just want to do the same thing. You just want to attack.
Continue to push. You want to be aggressive. Like this hyper aggressiveness coming out from SNHU, it works so well in their favor when they start defense because you have more rounds on attack to play with. But when you start attack, you drop a few rounds and then you're like, yeah.
I feel like if you still wanted to play that attack mentality, you could literally just wait for them to plant spike and then just play retake.
Yeah.
That way you're attacking onto the bomb. You're able to defuse it in time. And if you're just good at attacking into those scenarios, I think SNHU should really capitalize on to that as well. But again, in a timeout like this, where you may think that the game plan is to switch it out completely, UMA has 4 ultimates just waiting to be used here. Sure, SNHU does have a showstopper, but that's only beneficial to them if they're able to get a good amount of kills with it.
Looks like we're playing a little bit slower for now, but Marcus Pork is going to try and follow that guiding light all the way through showers. Oh, Bakita with that operator going to drop Hui as that first pick of the round.
Yeah, that operator on the attacking side is not something you're really used to seeing there. And typically, again, you'd see it on an agent that has more movement. Someone like Raze, Jet, those duelists that are able to just get a pick and get out there. Especially with Reyna, you have her dismiss, but...
I was going to say you have to dismiss to get out. So I believe it's still viable, and we do see it being viable as Bakita was the first to find a pick that round. BXW clearing out his favorite spot.
Just making sure no one is there, as they have pushed up from that area many times before this swap.
Making sure they don't take any tricks out of his playbook. But it's so slow for now. And, I definitely don't expect it to be slow, especially with them having an operator. Maybe having them just play back as they use that operator. Oh!
Suka playing with fire there is just barely going to get out of that Reyna shot there. With 30 seconds left, UMA has to make a decision on where they want to push out, and it looks like they're just going to go out towards B with that showstopper as well.
Oh dear, I'm so scared for Potato. That showstopper all the way in back, it's so scary, but you know, it's just not quite enough. With that owl drone as well, I know he was using that to try and capitalize back off it. That cascade coming out as well, going to slow Potato considerably as he tries to get onto the side. Looking onto 3 of UMA's members. Lua going to get that drop onto Potato. BXW going to find one onto Marcus Pork. Blitz getting that trade onto BXW to bring that down to a 2v4. Bakita is left up in Hookah, and we cannot forget he has that operator. Y Candy, however, going to drop Suka. It's off to Blitz, but Blitz falls to Y Candy as well to bring that up to an even 9-9.
Yeah, things right now for SNHU are really not working out.
No, they're not looking good at all, especially with them being on an average of 1,000 to at the most 3,000 credits. We are going to be seeing almost a full save come out of them. And, you know, if we see this round, if they lose this round, they're going to try and buy the next round. But if they lose that buy round, we're going to be heading into match point soon with them not having guns.
That's going to be really devastating to try and push a win with such low gun there.
And it's going to be the exact same thing that we saw in the last game, actually.
Yeah, just seeing that kind of repetitiveness just means that something needs to be changed here. And Bakita, again, holding on to this operator. If it's working so well for them, why even change it at all? And again, SNHU kind of playing slow here, really not pushing up as fast as they used to. But I feel like at the same time, that's also hurting them. And Marcus Pork popping the tour de force of his own is just able to barely get out of that.
I think that shaved a few years off my life. Oh my god. That altercation with the tour de force coming out, almost getting in the crossfires of that operator, but just dropping down.
Yeah, it's definitely scary here coming out and Toxify. Oh, maybe be seeing a shot at Blitz there, but Blitz only has a sheriff. He cannot peek again. He just has to run out of that area.
The paint shells coming out as well, but they are mollied off for the moment. That's going to just deny their entry into Hookah just for a little bit longer. Ooh, Potato looking at Lua, not quite able to find anything yet. The Leer going to be used to help them entry into site. Showstopper coming out. Marcus Fork with that turn of course going to be able to find one onto Y Candy. Boy, with that Showstopper finding one onto Bakita. Potato finding his onto Lua as well. There are 2 left from UMass Amherst in this 2v5 situation. We are, however, going to see that he has his from the shadows. Toxified is going to be able to use his ultimate to get onto A if he so wishes to do so.
Yeah, if he really uses his from the shadows here, might be able to make it, but looks like they're just going to back off. It's too late into the game to making plays like that to know, and a 2v5 as well, especially with your teammate already injured a little bit. It's just not working very well in his favor to do that. But SNHU will get the thrifty here. Looks like they actually did have weapons. They just didn't buy them. They were just using them from the abilities that they had here. Hui with the showstopper and Marcus Pork with that tour de force, able to use that to win the round. But at the same time, that also means they are down 2 ultimates here, so close into the game. Potato has been holding on to his ultimate for an extremely long time. And I wonder if he's just trying to wait for the read. If he's just not able to pop it off in time, maybe he's too quick to die first. It's a lot of different things that can be the reason on why he's not popping his ultimate there.
Hui is in, you know, the infamous BXW spot, just hiding in that little nook, and it looks like Y Candy might have the sneaking suspicion that someone's there, but with Hui crouching and with him with a judge, if I'm not mistaken, yep, there we go. With him with the judge, that's gonna be
the judge scary. Is so good close up, and it's not good anywhere else. I mean, it's a shotgun. That's what it's supposed to do here. And Potato and their Sova just Lua, Lua just maybe in a fight very soon here. But like we said before, literally, just these players are so close to each other and they don't even know it. Which is mind blowing to me.
I do think we're going to be having the clock run on just a little bit more, but we do see that Sky Smoke come out all the way at B long. Y Candy not quite clearing the area, but he does find it. The paint shells coming out. Hui knows that they are there, not quite able to get anyone off. And Toxify going to find that first pick onto Hui. Lua now making that long trek home as Bakita is in showers, but the operator going to be able to find Marcus Pork. The Trailblazer coming out. Suga knows that he is there. 30 seconds left on the clock. It's now or never. It's time to get onto site.
Yeah, they got to push him pretty fast here. Bakita with his operator can do some long dealing damage there. Getting another pick onto Suka, making it a 4v2.
Oh, we are also going to see that orbital strike come out near U-Haul as White Candy gets Potato and Blitz at well to bring that once again even to 10-10.
Yeah.
Do you think we're going to see this go all the way 11-11, 12-12, and then into overtime?
I have no idea. I feel like in a game like this, it's literally
Double operator. Sorry, I was really
it's okay.
triple operator.
It's okay. Imagine if someone else on Stu had an operator and Marcus Pork had his tour de force.
Oh my god.
That'd be crazy here. Everyone here is just playing the long sides here. Ever since Bakita just started getting kills with the operator, everyone's copying here. I mean, if it's working out in their favor, again, why not use it here? Marcus Pork and Bakita may just have a fight of their own here, but again, using
Able
that
to
rendezvous.
use that rendezvous.
Yeah.
Wow, that got him out of a few tricky situations, to say the least. The cascade coming out of Lua going to delay his push just slightly. Oh, we are also going to see his trademark being left there to try and get
And the Viper's
one or
pit
two
being
spiders in his web. Blitz left on 1 HP after that. Sorry, not Blitz. BXW. I saw a B and I was like, oh dear.
You gotta say the entire gamer tag every time now, since you found yourself up to it here.
We also can't forget that Viper's Pit has been popped by Potato all the way over at A, so that can definitely just be delaying their push. And obviously with the Viper's Pit, what better thing to pair it with than a judge? Oh,
Yeah.
the trademark is gonna get popped, and Marcus Pork getting the better of Bakita.
He got his revenge.
He did get his revenge for sure.
Yeah, getting that pick can be huge because I believe that was their second operator.
Yeah, there are two operators. The other operator is on BXW. BXW BB.
30 seconds left.
I'll get it one day.
It's just gonna be able to own that operator pretty strong here. Why Candy with this drone is able to get a lot of information. Unfortunately, was not able to figure out where the Viper was hiding, and of course, the Viper is going to be hiding in the pit with a judge here, but that from the shadows is going to be coming out to teleport right onto A.
And I was right, Blitz was left on extremely low HP, but with 5 seconds left on the clock, the Seekers finding Toxify. It's not quite enough. Potato is going to find him and drop him with that judge, but that Cove comes out to stop him from doing any more damage. Oh, White Candy's going to see Hui drop over. Not quite able to find him yet. Oh, Hui and Potato each find picks of their own. Lua able to find that pick onto Potato.
Oh!
Lua finding a second onto Asuka.
Oh!
A third. Will he be finding his fourth hit? That clutch coming out of Lua. Beautiful shots coming from Lua to guarantee that 11th round over to UMA.
Similar to what we saw onto Split, we saw SNHU kind of poke out one by one there, and that just happened again in Lua's favor. Getting 4 picks right off the bat is just going to be great for him confidence-wise and credit-wise here, especially at 11-10, where UMA just needs 2 more rounds to win this game.
Yeah, I'm not too sure if I would be buying up the same way SNHU is, you know.
Careful here.
It looks like they're just forcing up. They want to push themselves so far to win this round here. Unfortunately, they don't have any any ultimates to really help them out here, whereas UMA has a lot more for the attack.
Oh! That scared me so bad. We see the paranoia coming out. BXW going down to Potatoes. Blitz finds 2 onto both BXW and Toxify. He's going to clear Hookah out. That's going to be great as he now has this spike as well.
Yeah, getting that spike control can be huge for your teammates here, especially when UMA is literally planning on pushing up into B. They just have to hold entry and exit points here, and Suka is going to take control of that very quickly here and start to hold into this angle where he knows where Bakita is.
Double smoked up at Tree. Bakita is going to be forced to retreat, but he is going to leave Lua at Tree. So this could be a little bit of a play for the long game if they can wait for that retake. Marcus Pork obviously has his headhunter out. He also has set both his rendezvous.
I was gonna say to cut you off, but Sova also has the Hunter's Fury, and I think that's what's happening right now, just lining that up.
Yeah, oh, really good read on that. White Candy is going to be able to find both Marcus Pork and Blitz as Lua finds Suka. It's all up to Hui, who is left all the way over on A site. And
there's nothing you can do here.
Yeah, like I suspected, you need to keep this gun, especially heading into match point.
Yeah, and especially with the main members of your teammates just not having the guns. I mean, if we saw before they got into this round here, they had around 800 to 300 creds there. really not favorable. Maybe next round they can afford a Bulldog or a Spectre if they may here, but it's gonna be really difficult to push into this next round, especially on match point. And I'm surprised. I'm surprised they're not really searching for him either. Because again, when you want to be planted down in a time like this, it could be huge for Hui to get 3 kills right off the bat. But if UMA also gets that pick, that also puts SNHU just further down.
Yeah,
On the,
I think they're not willing to take that risk that Hui, because Hui has had outstanding performance as of yet, and they don't want to lose an operator. They don't want to lose a person. Like, they're in a really nice position right now, so it just doesn't work out for either of them.
I was just so wrong here. SNHU is literally able to buy up all Vandals here with the light shield, something I didn't consider here. The light shield, it just comes in clutch at the best times. For those who don't know, it's 400 credits, where the heavy shield is 1,000.
Yep, 1,000 even.
So just being able to just use your economy so well to just light buy and get that Vandal just puts you in a strong way for this next fight that may be happening very, very soon here, especially with a lot of members of SNHU just crowding up towards this B long area.
Yeah, with 3 at tree, this could be a very interesting altercation. It could go either way, and I don't think Lua is looking at the right position. Oh, White Candy, however, dropping 2 off the rip. Suka going to be able to find his pick onto White Candy, but Lua right there for that trade to bring that down immediately to a 4v2.
Yeah, I don't think that's how they wanted to put that push
this
out
is,
to go.
From the way it stands, it is still recoverable as they wait for UMA to show their hand, whichever side they're going into. But with Bakita, with that operator, all of them having heavy shields, this is very dangerous and something that they have to make sure to play together as a team.
Absolutely. And again, Blitz and Hui just kind of, they have to play slow here. They can't really rush anywhere, and they have to stick together. If they get an elimination of their own, each of them, that's instantly down to a 2v2 here. But now they know that the spike is going to be planted over onto A. Going for a little bit of a flank push here can throw them off guard for a bit, but it just looks like UMA is just buddying up, and they seem to know where they're coming from here.
Oh, I don't think Lua is looking at them, but Toxify, however, has his back. Blitz going to fall. Sorry, Blitz going to find Lua. Toxify getting away just in time. Blitz looks like he'll be sending out a few more Sky Smokes. Hui has 2 of his blast packs left for early entry, but Toxify going to stop that. Blitz gonna find Bakita, but it's not enough. BXW, ZIV, BB2,
yes.
ODYXWOM is going to find that final pick.
It's a 0M.
0M?
0M.
No,
So close.
I'm so sad. I almost got it.
Almost got it.
But what an incredible series to come out from both SNHU Yellow and UMass Amherst. From that first 10-13 game with split, UMass Amherst taking that home to, what was this? They also 11-13? 10-13? Once again, an incredibly close game. Also going home to UMass Amherst. All I can say is that was so fun and so incredible. I just absolutely love seeing both of these teams go head to head, and
I mean, they came out, in the end, they both fought very well here, especially on maps that weren't either of their picks. They were kind of just able to push up as strong as they could, use the game sense that they knew and the knowledge that they knew, and be able to get those.
And have extremely memorable names in that round as well. But, with that, we are going to come to a close for today, because we are going to be right back here, Twitch.tv/SNHU Esports tomorrow for our Super Smash Brothers. On Wednesday, we will have League of Legends. And on Thursday, for all of you Overwatch fans, we will be right back. If you guys are just here for the Valorant, don't worry about it. We will be back to your regularly uninterrupted Valorant gameplay every Monday. Once again, Twitch.tv/SNHU Esports. So we will see you guys then. But until then, have a great week, have a wonderful day, and enjoy your spring. Oh, wait, I forgot one.